Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Games Done Quick Hotfix and this episode of What's Faster. We got a special treat for you tonight. There's going to be two video games, but they're going to be played by the same person, and it's going to be weird, and you're going to love it. But before we get into that, I just want to remind everyone that AGDQ 2023 online will be January 8th to the 15th. Head to gamesdonequick.com for more info. Game submissions are closed. Tweet at gamesdonequick and let us know what you're hoping to see on the schedule. Also, Fright Fatales is a one-day event on October 23rd to celebrate spooky season with dark, scary, or horror-themed speedruns from the Frame Fatales community. Use !Fright in Twitch chat to learn more about this one-off event. So, tonight we have a couple of Lego games. That's not that special. But what's really neat is that those couple of Lego games are going to be racing against an actual real-life Lego build. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to our builder, Trojan, to talk about what they're going to be doing tonight.
Hey, I'm Trojan Rabbit, and I've been convinced to do one of the daftest things in my entire life, which is it's a real achievement to pull off, so well done, C, on that. I'm going to be building the entire Lego Nintendo Entertainment System build, minus about 700 bricks because timing issues and whatnot, in the next 3 hours, hopefully. I've also had to work out how that even functions as a speedrun, because that's not really a thing, and how to record it, because I have no experience in that either. So mistakes all round from me. I'd also just like to take a moment to pay my respects to the Turble and Tagara people. Thank you. Yagara. I can't believe I blanked on that. The traditional owners of the land that I'm currently on, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. There is some logic to what I'm doing, but I will be explaining the many failings of logic along the way. With that said, let's hear about the actual Lego games.
All right. Hey, everyone. I am Lasertrap. I press buttons and go fast. Today, I'm doing that with two games, starting off with the complete Saga DS. I usually run the DS games. You may notice on the main menu, there's this funny debug option. That's to set up the file we're using today. Because Collectible Rush in this game is all about getting all the collectibles, but from basically a preloaded file. So there are no extras bought, but everything is ready to go, so we can go in with any character, which is often going to be Yoda, except for when it's a ship level and we cannot choose. And so there will be 300 mini kits in this run and 30 red power bricks. I'm going to do something very quickly and get page 5 ready here. Actually, it already was. And then I will be just about ready to go. So, hold on. I'd like to introduce one more person. My commentator, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Lord Maidsker. I'm a contender for this game. I found a lot of the cool tricks you'll see in this run, and I'm also currently working on a task for not this category, but the free play category of this game.
All right, I'm ready. How are you feeling, Trojan?
I'm not going to be any less ready.
Okay. Let's have a countdown from C.
Yep. All right. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Alrighty, good luck.
Good luck to you as well.
For me, I'm just hoping I don't get caught in reset heck here, because that can happen on this first level. I need to stay alive to get my mini kits in this level, and I'm already dead, so we're taking a quick reset.
Excellent. Meanwhile, I'm sticking bricks together. It may seem like a complex thing. It's not. Children can do it. Literally the point of Lego. Fun
But
story.
can they do it as fast as you?
Based on my toddler, they can take it apart faster.
So first level here is actually the third shortest one in the run, if I don't have to reset more often. There's only 2 rooms, but there's a lot of collectibles to get, and I completely whiffed on those TIE fighters. I would like some more, please. That's really important.
No, thank you. I need every second I can get.
Okay. I see this is a good rivalry to begin with. And I'm dead again. All right. I was hoping this
Excellent.
wouldn't happen, but here we go.
I'm not cheering against you. I'm just more cheering for me,
I love
but
that
also
for you.
against you. Like just so we're on the same page of all of that.
George, we got a good question in chat. How often
Yo.
do resets happen in your Lego NES build?
Resets can take several days, so I have not actually done a complete end-to-end build over the course of this practice period. I've had to segment it for the sake of keeping
want
my own
that.
sanity.
I didn't get it.
But generally, like, a reset is taking apart the entire thing and sorting it, except in the case of the last reset for the bits that I'm working on now, which definitely are the television, because I took it to work in the hopes of using some downtime at work to try and deal with that. Didn't do it, and then walking to the bus, managed to drop the bag along Queen Street, and it split a little bit. So the parts came apart quite well, which saved me a bit of time on the reset. But then there's a very good chance that Queen Street just has some of my Lego.
Oh boy. I got absolutely trolled just there. Got out of the first room, but I was only on 1 heart.
Rough.
Okay. I've been doing a good job avoiding this, but of course this is GDQ we're on. And now I'm down a torpedo too. So the goal of this first room that you would usually be doing is just taking out these Star Destroyers with these random pink torpedoes that drop from these TIE fighters. In the meantime, we need to take out 10 TIE fighters for a mini-kit. We also need to survive this room for a mini-kit. And all 4 of the Star Destroyers has these sets of buttons, which will give me a mini-kit. So I should be leaving this room with 5 mini-kits collected. No, 6, because of the survival one. And then I should also have 2 fruit bricks. Every level except 1 has a mini-kit that comes from getting 3 fruit bricks, and they're kind of just scattered in all kinds of containers everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, dear. My wife is here. She made a pun. I didn't hear it. And I'm being lambasted for that.
Dropped Lego on Queen Street. I said,
Oh, she said rest in pieces when I mentioned the Queen Street stuff.
Aww.
Jokes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's
We're
on one
doing much
after
better
course.
health-wise this time.
Yeah, 4 hearts, very nice.
Bobby! It's a death joke.
That's very good, dear. No one else can hear you. I'm very professional.
Oh, aren't we all?
Oh boy. Yeah. Excalibur in chat. Brisbane, not Melbourne, but basically same. They said I'm not getting it back if I dropped it anywhere in Melbourne, which is another capital city in Australia. That Melbourne's got a Queen Street, doesn't it?
All right, so at the back of this room, there is something called a red brick, and last time I was on this show, I played a category called All Red Bricks, and we got some hype in the chat every time I picked one up. You might see at some point my wonderful partner pop in. That's new since last time, by the way. She was not my partner then.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I don't know the appropriate thing to say in that situation.
It's just what a full circle moment.
We just need someone in chat typing red brick every time Trojan picks up a red brick as well.
I've already done
Yes.
6.
Well, and somebody's
putting
already
that out there.
at a deficit.
And hopefully now all I need to do to win this level is survive.
Yeah, in story mode we can just like AFK here because it doesn't matter, but unfortunately we need to survive to get that mini kit.
Yep. Each red brick has an extra ability that you can buy, And this one just so happens to be invincibility, and that makes all of the later ship levels much less of a hassle. But I think we did it. I'm going to save after every level. Oh, there she is.
Yep.
I'll let someone else take that job. Yeah, probably a wise decision. Let me just check. We're doing some paranoia checks in this run every so often to make sure I have everything. And I did get all 10 mini kits in the red brick. So, hopefully now we'll have a bit more smooth sailing and we will get to see some epic Yoda gameplay. And as I go into this level, if it's okay with you, Trojan, I'd like to just go over that a bit now. And actually, I'll have Mage Car talk about it.
Yeah, you got full run.
All right. Yeah. So since this is a new game plus category, we already have all characters unlocked and we can play levels in free play. So we're going to be choosing Yoda in every single level. As you can see, Yoda is very fast. What we're doing is using his 3 lightsaber swings and then immediately jump canceling it. That's a very fast way to move in this game. And then, as we'll see pretty soon, Yoda also has some other glitches in his arsenal. So right there, what they did was Yoda's lightsaber can be jump canceled even if Yoda's in the air, and that lets us get a ton of height and also like cover very large distances compared to other characters. And then
I can't swap to my partner. Oh, no.
very nice.
That one's a new trick. What we're going to be seeing a lot of in this run is door clips. But what I did just there was a floor clip, and it's the only case we have of it in this game that's useful so far, I believe. RTA, at least. I have no idea
there's a
how
lot
that
of
one
places
works.
you can do it, but none of the other ones are useful.
Meanwhile, we have the Sandcrawler room, and this one's kind of painful because it relies on the AI Player 2's cooperation. Sometimes they warp to the top, and that is wonderful, but that does not often happen. And I also want to avoid them being Yoda, because them being Yoda means that they will put their lightsaber away, and Yoda without his lightsaber is a pile of sadness. Yoda
Just
is
a
both
muppet without a hand.
Same.
Yoda is both the slowest and the fastest character. Fastest when you've got the lightsaber out and swinging all the time. Slowest without a doubt.
Where is the partner?
Now I just gotta wait for P2. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, there you are. So needless to say, this is not on any kind of world record pace so far.
Technically, I am.
Oh, amazing. See, I told you we were going to win.
That doesn't mean I'm going to win. It just means I'm kind of defaulting my way because there's no recorded speedrun of my 70-ish% category that I'm currently doing, which I don't know if I fully defined it. Basically, there are about 1,700 bricks in this. 1,646 bricks, I think, is the official count. 700-ish of those are a moving screen with Mario 1-1 on them, made almost entirely of Lego dots. And, yeah. Oh, you could hear the toddler. I wasn't sure. Yes. She was looking for her things, being like, I found you. She's adorable and she knows it. So, because this is basically a massive meme and I'm embracing my life as that, when I realized that I couldn't do everything in the 3-hour window, I decided that the category was going to be 70-ish%.
It's perfect. So inside the Sandcrawler there, you saw just a taste of what will be happening this whole
Bye-bye,
run.
Rigos. Sorry.
Just a taste of what's happening with this whole run, and that is ignoring collision. So we do that in a few different ways in this run, as you already saw with going through the floor. But doors is definitely the biggest one. There's a technical explanation, which I guess, Magegar, if you want to go for a quick way of doing it. That's...
Yeah, so the important thing for like how Yoda's clips work is that you want your at the very start of Yoda's third swing, he can like clip through the opposite side of the object, and that depends on like what direction you're moving in as you land with your second swing. So in most cases, you want to like land like while moving like diagonally into the door, and then you enter your third swing straight into the door, and that'll clip you straight through it.
Going for a quad jump here, because every Jedi can do a double jump, so they can jump after already being in the air once. But Yoda's attacks kind of send him through the air anyway, and you can still double jump out of that. And I have all 10 mini-kits, but I do not have the most important collectible. And that is, of course, the red brick, and we'll see it on this side before we end the level.
Yep. So this red brick is fast build, which, as the name implies, makes us build things faster. And so that's why we're doing this level. Second, we want to get some of the important red bricks out of the way first, and that guides like our route for this game. So now we have invincibility
Also,
and fast build after this level.
Let me show off that you can pull that lever without removing the guard. Fun level geometry there. Okay, so now I've got those 2 red bricks. I'm going to make a trip to the shop so I can actually buy them. Why do I have... How many? Is that 100 million studs, I think it is? Because I started with a debug menu, and that's... there's an option in there to have loads of money.
Just for everyone in chat very quickly, red brick.
Ayo. We do love
Red
our
brick.
red bricks in this channel.
Yeah, I can't really claim that anything I'm doing would earn any trick names at the moment, particularly fast build, but I can pretend.
That's the goal for the evening. We're gonna, at some point, you're gonna do something, and one of the 4 of us will come up with a name for whatever trick you perform. We'll do it.
That will be terrible, and I love it, and chat is more than welcome to contribute to that nonsense.
Perfect.
And I just did another trick there. It's the ability to press 2 buttons on the same frame. There are some activation panels in this game. Red brick, by the way.
Red brick.
These activation panels, if they are not required, so if they're like a side quest or like for a collectible as we just had, they have this mini game, but if you pause in the same frame as using the panel, then you skip that mini game. Pausing on the same frame as things happening is how you skip things in a few LEGO games. In fact, in 3 of them, you can even skip the story cutscenes that way.
I would so absolutely love to be able to do that in the Trauma Center games that I run.
Yeah, you run DS games too, right?
Yeah, and so I am more than familiar with the absolute madness you have to deal with to stream and capture. It is bad. But yes, I also run Trauma Center on the DS.
Touchscreen Havoc.
Ta-da! It doesn't have a cartridge in it at the moment because I was mucking around with flash carts the other day. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I actually did a Trauma Center vs. Trauma Center run for this show, where
Nice.
I did really badly in Under the Knife versus Leo Caterin, who kicked my butt, playing the, Second Opinion, the remake of Under the Knife. It's a fun click.
So this is like the Dooku boss fight room. There's a bunch of mini-kits hanging out. In fact, 2 right next to each other, as you do. They got a bit lazy with this level. As for the bosses, in free play, we're just going to switch to bounty hunters and throw detonators at them. And with invincibility turned on, I don't get hurt by them. Otherwise, friendly fire is an option, and you will get hurt by it. But Dooku takes a little while.
Yeah, the funny thing is, despite me having 2 monitors and everything, I cannot see any of your game feed because I can't do anything
Well, I mean,
else.
I'm a bit jealous that I can't watch what you're up to right now.
Well, see, I believe there's a YouTube channel for this thing.
Oh,
There
There
is
is?
a YouTube channel for this. If you if you use exclamation point links in chat, there's a new command for all of our links to all of our socials and stuff, and that one should be one of them in there. So you should try that out. Find it.
See, I can be professional sometimes. That was a good segue. Pointing it out was not professional.
That was a very good segue.
No, you sounded like a natural.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go home. I mean, I'm already at home. I'm just gonna go home and let you two take over.
I mean, that sounds like fun, but that's a lot of pressure for us because we're also doing things. Whereas you seem to be pretty chill at the moment.
I'm chilling, watching some Lego and some more different Lego.
Speaking of, just where I'm building my Lego right now in terms of on the cameras, do people want me to move the main thing a little bit more forward? I'm just noticing it's a little bit off frame. Does that look a bit better to everyone? One in chat if yes.
All right, this is Gunship Cavalry, by the way. Our second ship level. With invincibility, surviving isn't too hard, but I could still fall in a pit and that mini-kit option would go away. In these first two rooms as well, I have to break 10 of these random gray cones and it'll give me a mini-kit. This is probably the scariest part for me, pressing the buttons around the pit, because sometimes it looks like you're not that close, but it will say you're in the pit. And that is mighty unfortunate. I've avoided it so far.
I'm just thinking of Harley Quinn. It's like, you are in the pit. If anyone doesn't know, the Harley Quinn show on HBO Max has the worst interpretation of all of the characters, which also by default makes the best Bane. Tangents. I do tangents.
I need to bring some torpedoes with me. The red brick is in the next room, actually, so you've got to bring torpedoes with you to the final room of the level. Because there's a torpedo target there. And funnily enough, the reward for getting that red brick is the infinite torpedoes extra. So I can turn that on later and not have to worry about finding the torpedo generators or making trips back when it only limits you to having 3 at a time.
Yep, infinite torpedoes saves a ton of time, and it's also like the only red brick we get in the all levels category of this game, which is getting all levels in story mode.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's out of the way to get because it's not with the normal level progression, but it's immediately saves all that time back in just one level of having infinite torpedoes afterwards.
Yeah. 3-1 in particular saves a ton.
Yep. And Haas battle.
Yeah, definitely.
So out of curiosity, in terms of like tassing and finding tricks, was there anything like particularly groundbreaking in this game that was found recently, or just any tricks that are coming up that, because I'm like genuinely intrigued by this. The Lego games are actually a big part of my wife and I's relationship.
Well,
the most recent like big discovery that's like being extensively abused in the new free play test is flash storage. Basically, if you do your like mid-air lightsaber attack and your character swap on the same frame, you get a ton of height when you swap back to that character, and that also goes through C-links. So it can be used to get out of bounds for free in a lot of places. We knew we could do that with like a fan. If you character swap while you're getting boosted by a fan, you get the same effect, but this is like you can jump slash anywhere, so it's a lot more flexible.
I accidentally pressed continue story out of the level. That's something I've got to be aware of after every ship level because they're not available in free play. So when you go through the status screen at the end of the level, if you spam through, you'll hit continue story, and that will lose a little bit of time, just a couple seconds. So less than like having to redo a level, which hopefully it won't happen. But yes. And as I'm seeing in chat, yes, this game is more broken on a DS. I know.
Oh, everything is.
Right?
The DS is like a genuinely wonderful system. I love it because so many of the things on it had to be customized so heavily to work on it. And a lot of other things were just straight up GBA things because that was the only way to get something that worked.
Well, I mean, if you're a big fan of GBA things, wait till the next game, because that's got the GBA sound font. So it actually, for one, it means we don't have to worry about scary copyright, so we can listen to some game music. But the attempt they made of making that game 3D reminds me of, I forgot to activate this minikit. Whoops. They probably could have done better on GBA, honestly.
I believe it. Like, some devs really pulled off some shenanigans on the GBA on the end of that. Like, even just Mario Kart on
What?
GBA is pretty impressive.
I've never died there before.
Womp womp.
So go for it.
Yeah, what happened there is so there's a fall timer in this game. If you fall for too long, you die basically. And when you're using Yoda's lightsaber swings, that never gets reset. So you can just randomly die like that. And that's actually something that we had to be careful to avoid in the new task that we're working on, because so when you usually don't see that, because when you jump it resets it, but in task we have some new
really unexpected.
Yeah, but in tasks we have some new movement options that
Oh, that's true. I did totally say the thing, didn't I?
It's unavoidable.
I didn't even mean to say that thing. Uh-oh, I fell. I fell off the tower. It's the Eiffel Tower.
Out. Like, that can't even be canon. You're in Star Wars. It's a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. The French weren't around.
That is true. That is true.
Shoutouts to the French restream. That's happened before.
Hey, they're not doing this one, though.
No, but we probably should have given them a heads up. Just so people know what's happening now, I am working on a mechanism here that's not connected yet, but in the next little while, I will have a crank mechanism going from this handle, that's going to turn all of these cogs that I've been putting together over the last 5 to 10 minutes, which will eventually go to turning a screen across this section, which is kind of the core mechanism of the entire build. Well, of this part, because this is a 2-in-1 build, really.
I always like
This is
how
a really
builds
cool
you could
build.
like work on something else before it's like even going to be added. Like have a side project going.
Oh, I
Also-
like legitimately tried to plan this one out to do that more.
Also, I realized this level is like almost done, and I never really explained what's going on here. This is Jedi Battle, so it's like usually a sleeper part of the run. It's just like memorizing what happens when there's this huge enemy gauntlet happening. And then here I need to be careful to make sure Django doesn't go up an elevator. Otherwise, I might soft lock the level and lose 5 minutes of my progress. So don't do that, Django. All right, now he's going to run away. Now I can build this elevator to go... Oh, I got shot while using... Do you mind? Okay. I could not
Django's a
jump up
jerk.
quick enough. We will go up here to find red brick number 5.
Red brick.
A little bit of red brick in my life.
A little bit
I
of
spent
technique on this side.
I spent many hours trying to break this level, but unfortunately, it's still by far the longest level in free play. It's like a minute longer than any other level.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I've-
not anything you can do.
Oh, there it is. I like physically lost a piece that I had previously had attached to the build. That was impressive. Happens a
Has
lot.
that ever happened before?
Oh, like 80 times in the last week.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Not even yet. Please clip through the door.
Yeah, so Xeno Veritas in chat just mentioned that these gears power the CRT, which is entirely correct. CRTs are powered by a complex series of gears in real life. The cathode ray tubes are really just tiny, tiny glass gears. Tiny, tiny glass gears.
Red brick number 6. Let's go.
Red brick.
Yeah, there are 30 levels in this, so once again, that's 30 red bricks throughout the run. 300 mini kits. There would be, 90 fruit bricks, because you always need 3 to get mini kit number 10. But Pod Race doesn't have any fruit bricks, so 87 of those. Fruit bricks aren't a collectible in like any other Lego game. And because they're in random containers all the time, it's probably why when friends will watch me play a new game casually, I'm like a break everything kind of player, because I grew up with this game. And they're completely random. They're just like a brick that has a picture of some grapes on them. And I just dropped it. It's okay.
The thing is, I was also a break everything kind of player because I played these games with my wife when we were first dating. My ability to fall off of bridges is fun, just fantastic. You've never seen anyone so bad at crossing a simple bridge. But we were always in search of stealing other hats. Like, that was our thing, especially in the Indiana Jones games.
Just showing this off here, that also once I pick up that mini kit, I can just die, and because those platforms don't count as like a usual bit of ground to respawn on, they're moving, and so it's going to respawn me back at the beginning of the room. I don't think the way I did it there saved any time, if it is possible to save any time there.
You definitely can in a task if you use instant respawn glitch.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing it in the TAS. But yes, co-op speedruns of like PC Lego games are a thing. Oh, what am I doing? Anyway, co-op speedruns of PC Lego games are a thing if maybe you can convince your wife to do that with you. We've actually got someone in our community who does Hobbit speedruns with his wife.
That would be amazing. We would kill each other. It's that kind of highly competitive relationship we've got going on. Maybe missing... Nope, there it is. I was going to say maybe lost piece number 1, but no. It was just in front of me. I am blind.
Sarah, you might have missed 2 red bricks, I hate to tell you.
It's okay, I got them.
That's true, you did. You can find 2 red bricks on the other screen instead.
I'll leave those to them.
Alright, I'm gonna go for bottom shelf quad jump, but my quad jump rhythm is really bad today, and I still made it with a character swap. Character swaps, when I do them, they like... How to explain it? Make sure you can probably explain it a bit better than I can.
Yeah, so character swaps give you a small height boost. You can't do it like infinitely, but yeah, so there's a cooldown immediately afterwards, so you can't just like gain a bunch of height with them, but it's very useful for extending your jump slightly if you feel you're not going to be able to make it.
I'm missing a few of your words through Discord, so I hope that's not happening on the stream end. Also, that last mini kit that I got there from shooting the Geonosians, one of the most hidden mini kits in the game, probably. Because, like, you don't usually think to shoot those Geonosians there. And now we have Rainy Camino. Get used to this rain filter, because you'll be seeing rain in LEGO Star Wars 2 after this, the original trilogy, where there is no Camino. There's a trick in that game coming up later on that involves rain, clipping using rain, deleting boss health using rain, getting some extra jump height using rain as well. You know, what can't the rain do?
go away to let the children out and play.
So true.
I have a toddler. Nursery rhymes. Just, yeah.
Well,
Got them on lock.
I work in a school, so if there's a rainy spell, it's no fun.
Yeah. But it is an excuse to get Bluey out in my case, so never a bad thing there. Do love some Bluey. And just I have completed a cool little mechanism bit. For some reason, well, for a very good reason, Lego has decided to make sure that there is a little clicky sound. Not sure if that's being picked up. I'm actually just going to put it right next to the mic. So this entire bit here is superfluous to the build, except for the bit where it stops the screen going backwards. But that makes the technical section almost entirely complete for the base. Which is really good progress, actually. This is doing better than I expected. About 30 minutes, cool. I was expecting that to take almost 40.
You're doing some real speedrun in there.
Yeah, it's pod racing, baby.
Panel's at an awkward angle. If you've ever played the PC or console version of this game, you might recognize this is a disco room. They just had a bunch of buttons in this one, and there's no disco or anything. It just spits out a bunch of money at me, and then eventually there's a minikit on the table.
I guess that's how disco owners see discos?
Yes, I guess.
Yeah, and then this loading zone here doesn't exist until Django goes through it. So unfortunately, we still have to wait for that. Can't just flip through the force field and take the loading zone.
Someone in chat has just asked if I had splits for the building kit, and no, I don't have splits, but I have been running timers as I tested various things to try and work out what the hell I was doing, because the build here is like literally just an experiment. Right from start to finish, this entire process is just madness, and making up it as I go along. And of course, if you're making things up as you go along, you've got to actually test it to see which ones are better. Otherwise, you just fall down rabbit holes of failure, which, I'm still welcome to doing. Actually, when I first started trying to do this, my main plan was to actually have... Yep.
Sorry, something very rude happened to me in my game.
Oh. Well, just beat them up with a lightsaber.
It was the game that was rude. Like, nobody did anything, but like, I tried to enter a room and it was like, no, you're going back into the same room you were just in.
It was because you tried to beat it up with the lightsaber.
That's true, actually.
See? I was exactly wrong. When I was trying to plan this out and do it, my initial plan was to tear down everything and try and have all of the pieces sorted somewhat like they are now, but a bit more structured. So have all of the 3x1 pieces stuck together like this, all of those, and so on.
Shoutouts to the 3 Django's on my screen right now.
A fistful of Django, a few Django's more.
Wait, he ran away from me and I didn't even notice. How did he get away from me? Okay, we're done with episode 2. We did that one all in a row, just in reverse order. Now we'll be going into all the episodes again and getting everything. But I'll go backwards episode order, but I will go forwards in the episodes. So I'm going to start with 6, and then do 5, then 4, then 3, then 1, because I've already done 2. And I do it in this order so I can get all of the extras I need ready, and then just go through the end of the run. Episode 6 I traditionally do early because there's a chance to softlock the entire run in Speeder Showdown. And I play it really safe so that doesn't happen. but I've had this before playing casually where if you don't get a certain mini kit requirement on your first go through, that mini kit just never shows up for the rest of the game on that file. And we want to avoid that.
I mean, if the point is to have all of them, then not being able to get one seems like a minor hindrance.
Right, and you know, I need 300 mini kits to compete with the mega kit on the other screen.
If you don't get that one, we'll just have to change your category to collectible mostly rush.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we could do my thing of the 70-ish percent, 99-ish percent.
I don't know if you saw the stream, but I did actually put 70-ish percent in your category.
I did, and I am so glad.
Good.
I also love that you followed through with the platform as well.
Yeah. Platform is DS on one side and desk on the other. Yeah, I mean, it's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the desk is a bit of a raised platform, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
By definition.
I'm here all hour and a couple more.
We're definitely in for one, aren't we? Oh, we're in it.
It's the evening for me. After a long day of work.
I had my long day of work yesterday, so...
Yeah, you're in the weekend already. You're lucky.
I can time
You
travel.
say that. Yeah, it's Saturday morning for me, and whew, I actually work at one of those shoe repair stores that does engraving and all of that sort of stuff, which is hilarious because I have a really weird resume. Like I was a game journalist at one point, and annoyingly, I didn't. Yeah, the reason I don't have the I may actually legitimately be missing a piece. The main reason... I've completely lost my train of thought. The main reason I didn't have the downtime to build things and thus almost lost them on Queen Street in Brisbane is because my boss decided that we needed to do stocktake yesterday. And it had to be done by yesterday.
Wait, what am I doing? I cannot end the level on that. I was about to skip out on like 3 collectibles. That would have been extremely bad.
It would. So, if I do have several missing pieces of this section, which so far no, but you know, it could still happen, we're going to blame my boss and we're going to blame capitalism. That was the moral of the story that I was really badly telling.
One more thing that I'm going to mention right now as I fall down from another tower. Don't make the joke again, don't make the joke again. Blaster targets in this game can be activated with detonators. What can't detonators do? Detonators. That is a really hard word to say when you are trying to play a game and nervous at the same time.
You're doing pretty well, though. Your enunciation is better than mine, but I have the downside of being Australian.
I mean, I grew up in the UK and my accent's been a mess for years.
It's,
All right, this is where I'm going to play it safe with these scout troopers on the bikes. I'm going to try and, like, bait a few into spawning here so we don't soft lock the run.
Yes, as much as I was joking about cheering for me and not against you, do not softlock. I would really not enjoy that.
Well, if I soft locked the run in this way, I would still be able to continue, but it would mean the mini kit would not ever appear again on this file, and that would be sad.
But we would get to meme harder about the category.
True.
So, swings and roundabouts.
99-ish% collectibles.
I think ish is a very important word.
Yes.
And
because in reality, it is more than 99%.
I should also mention, I actually did do the maths and had the exact number of what the 70% was. It was like 69.56 or something like that.
Nice.
But, yes. But I think we can all agree, 70-ish. Far better.
All right, here's another really random collectible requirement for this mini kit. You gotta specifically tow down 3 of these walkers in this room and in the last room as well. When like there's nothing that suggests you would have to do this anyway, other than the fact that they are there and you can do this. So when you do it once, it says, "Oh, you've done this 1 out of 3 times."
That's some real LucasArts stuff.
True.
It's because the out of bounds glitches using that are intended.
Right. Yeah. There's actually a couple of really cool out of bounds skips in ship levels now. This one, but most commonly used in Hoth Battle to skip an entire room, which we don't get. We don't have the joy of doing that in this category. I don't have much to talk about right now, so.
I mean, I can blabber about
Time to
anything.
mention it, unless Trojan wants to say something.
No, go. Most of my talk is filler.
Mention what?
The out of bounds in the ship levels.
Yeah. Yeah, so 3 levels have 3 vehicle levels have big skips. One of them is the pod race. We have 3 laps, but we can skip 2 of them by essentially like respawning right after the trigger for like the next lap, and then your lap count increments, and then you immediately increment it again. And you have to do some fancy respawn point shenanigans in order to actually get it twice. So I don't think too many people have actually gotten it RTA. But then the other big vehicle level glitch is using the tow cables. During that animation, you can, like as you can see here, they just circle around, and that doesn't check for collision, so you can just kind of flip out of bounds using that. And that was a skip an entire room in 5-1, and then here it doesn't save as much time and is much more difficult, but we can go from the second room into like midway through that chase sequence you just saw.
Yeah,
just
rooms out of bounds are very strange because you can run into other rooms and like find other loading zones that shouldn't exist in the room you're in, and that's a very rough explanation of it that I'm sure MageCar would love to tell you more about, but I won't let him do that just yet.
Just as a heads up, I am going to be pretty... I very definitely need to take regular breaks during this because it is a significant strain on the back and shoulders to do this for extended periods. So I believe we talked about with C having a break on the hour mark. So I'm just giving you a heads up well ahead of time so that if you have a section that lines up nicely, you're aware.
Yeah, I should be able to... Yeah, I mean, I'll just pause the game and that's totally fine. I'm not on any kind of good PB pace for this run. And then the second break, I guess that should line up really well with the game change I have.
Yeah, I think so too. Which that is going to be really fun. All of you in chat, stick around for that second game. I don't actually know anything about it, but from what I've been told, it's like maybe the memeiest thing that we will do tonight, which is saying a lot considering Trojan is building a Lego set on a video game channel. So
the funny thing is I was going to submit this for AGDQ 2023, but because of life circumstances, I just didn't have the time to do it. But I did notice that there's a second window for new games. I was wondering if I should be cheeky and try and submit the new Lego
Legos
Bowser.
count as a new game.
Well, there is a set that is released today that is Bowser. It is
perfect.
a giant, like 3,000 piece Bowser set, and I want it. I'm buying it. And
Perfect.
I'm going to DM Matt and just be
not?
like, is this kosher?
Listen, if any Lego set counted as a new game, a Lego set that came out today would count as a Lego set, that counts as a new game, right?
Yeah, like, I feel like that's in the spirit of the rules.
Right.
I have another thing for MageCar to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you probably didn't even
and-
notice what happened, but yeah, there was a thing, and it happened.
Yeah, so in the last room, we skipped the elevator. Normally, you're supposed to push a block, which makes an elevator appear, and then you stand on 2 buttons to make it go down. And the game prevents you from getting to the loading zone early because there's a death barrier there. But fortunately, if we die and character swap, or if we kill our partner and then swap to them and character swap on the same frame, we can get this glitch called death storage. So basically, when we swap back to that character, we're no longer dead in the dead state, but we still like have some properties of being dead, and that makes us unable to die from anything. And so even though like we have invincibility, death barriers still kill us, but with that glitch, we can just fall through the death barrier and take the loading zone. And
I just like the concept.
in other categories, we can make that faster with by instead of swapping to our partner using self-destruct, but that's not really worth going to the shop and buying. It's pretty fast to just kill our partner.
Major, you talking really helped me out there, and I feel like I got really in the zone for that section.
Let's go.
That was probably the hypest bit of movement I've done so far. Also, I'm just going to clip out that window. That's not a standard clip, but you can just do it.
I love that.
All right, I'm 10 out of 30 levels down. How are you doing, Trojan?
I am progressing slightly slower than before, but well at the pace I want.
Well, there you go.
My goal was to finish this bit during the first hour, and then the remainder of the TV is relatively quick in comparison. And then I would be able to move on to the next bit. Yeah, I think I'm at the pace. I might be slightly behind. It's hard to judge, because some bits go faster than others depending on, well, me, I guess. It's entirely in my control, isn't it?
You have an interesting controller, as it were.
Ah, fun fact. I'll build one of those too.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. Okay, we get our red brick as the first collectible in this level, and follow it up with this
Red
mini
brick.
kit up here. And then we follow it up with this fruit brick right here. But the Emperor level here, the whole level is just this long boss fight. And so the level ends when the boss fight is done, and this is all over one room. But this is one of the more complex levels in the run, even with all of that. Even when you don't get all the collectibles because of how finicky it is to deal with the Emperor. But getting all the collectibles adds a whole new layer, as you would expect it does, but also in ways you wouldn't expect, like AI manipulation. Because when I go into these side rooms, when the AI is Yoda, they will put away their lightsaber, and I kind of need 2 players at times in this level. And if AI Yoda does not have his lightsaber out, AI Yoda cannot come help me when I am stuck in the Emperor's Lightning. So I'm going to go for something risky here and hope I can zero cycle this phase of the fight. I've been developing a pretty decent setup for it across this year, like grinding free play without this. So let's see. We got it. Nice. Very happy to show that off on the GDQ channel.
Very
Nice. Meanwhile, I thought I had a missing piece, and I was slightly bricking myself, but I just made a dumb.
Was that an intentional pun or non-intentional?
Wholly intentional.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page with pun making then.
Yes. The good news is that like this game is prone to bricking, but also it's intentional.
Right.
So you never have to worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done most of the back ports and mechanism so far. So if I was to turn this around very quickly for the stream, you can see we have a coax in, we have the video and sound in, we have, well, one of these is coax, one of these is power, I don't even know. These are decorative, there'll be a little case section going over that. It's going to be pretty spiffy.
Alright, I've been in kind of focus mode for this level, and again, it's been going kind of well. I'm liking
Excellent.
the gameplay that we're able to see at the moment. Excuse me.
You're excused.
Yes, but now we have to finish the level, and there will be one more mini-kit to get. And I'm just going to not have player 2 be Yoda right now. It'll make it a lot easier. Don't have to worry about whether the lightsaber is out or not. I do have to worry if they get on this elevator, and fortunately he did, but so did the Imperial Guards, and I don't really want that.
That sounds worse.
Okay, we are doing fine, I swear.
That's the spirit. This is a true GDQ
That
run.
sounds like someone that isn't doing fine.
No, they said they're doing
Also sounds
fine.
like someone that is doing fine, right?
Yeah, exactly. It sounds exactly fine. Okay. I'm going insane here. I admit some... What have I done?
Oh, don't do that.
Okay. I'm not going insane. I just didn't read the instructions correctly. Yeah, why was it always Channel 6 to put games on the old cathode rays? Because, yeah, I'm
We're out of that
someone in
one.
chat.
Okay, and
Someone
because
in
we
chat
started
just
with
brought
the last level chronologically, we're done with episode 6 now. And we can go on to episode 5, into what is unfortunately the longest level of the run. Magekar mentioned the really cool out of bounds trick that we can do to skip an entire room. That is not the case when we have to get all the collectibles, because there are collectibles in the room we would skip. And in all 3 rooms, we have to tow down 6 of these small walkers, and it takes a long time. There's also some painful RNG with, like, whether you're going to get the probe droids to spawn and all that fun stuff. And while you're trying to shoot them and just shoot all the time because there might be a probe droid anywhere, like this guy over here, you don't want to shoot the walkers because then you can't tow them down, and you specifically have to tow them down to get the mini kit.
That seems simple and logical and not at all like a massive fuss. Sorry for bumping the
Doesn't
microphone.
it just?
Meanwhile, I am almost at the end of this section, and I'm mostly working on structural things at this point, which is great.
I'm not doing this in a good order. Also, I realized I forgot to get the fruit brick here. If you saw a flash of red, it wasn't the red brick in this level just yet. There is a chance... Yeah, I don't have the fruit brick. There is a chance that it could have been the red arrows on the sides of these walkers when I target them. Wait, where is the fruit brick? Is it way back at the beginning of the room?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, it is here. Yeah, it's here. Okay. I didn't recognize
Yeah, near Booster.
for a moment that the room was as long as it was. Okay, now I've towed down all the walkers and we can just get these probe droids. I like to guess what they're saying. Sometimes it sounds like they're talking about beer in the basement. Sometimes it's like, this is very impressive, and I say, oh, thank you. Even if I don't agree with them.
Take the compliment.
But now I have
Alright,
to
awesome.
tow down 6 more.
Some people in chat were asking about the antenna at some point really early on. Et voila, antenna. Unfortunately, it doesn't pick up a good signal here because of the transition to digital television, but it's still there and it clips into place like so. Okay, I have 2 pieces remaining and I don't know where the hell they're meant to be. This is a standard of Lego builds where you just have extra pieces, but I shouldn't have this because I've deconstructed this set. So I've likely missed something, and I hope they're not structurally integral. We'll just put them to the side.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's
Try
fine.
not
It's
to
fine.
Smile too much of that comment in chat about my calming voice. It's a very nice comment.
You do genuinely have a calming voice. It is very pleasant to be running alongside you.
I have been... When I had a run at SGDQ 2021, someone called me the Bob Ross of speedrunning.
That is excellent. You should print that on business cards.
All right, hold on. Hello, I'm Rob Boss, and I'd like to welcome you to the joy of speedrunning.
Yep, that's happening. Meanwhile, when I did the AGDQ run in 2019 for Trauma Center, I had people confuse me for an Englishman, a New Zealander, a South African, but I am in fact Australian, which is, only mildly insulting. Technically, I am a New Zealand citizen because my mother is a Kiwi, but I've never been, and I'm definitely not a Pom.
I remember watching that run, and I think you were on, no sleep during that time.
Oh, it was absurd. So the event had actually started by the time I got on my plane, and from door to door, was 26 hours to get from my front door to the hotel, and then my run was the next day. So I think I had been in America less time than I had spent traveling to America. I was sharing a room with 3 other complete strangers, which was also the party room for the Oriane the Blind Forest community, which, by the way, shout outs to any of them if they're hanging around, because they are all amazing people. And then, I had to basically put on scrubs and play a really difficult video game and explain what the hell it was to an audience of people larger than the total sales of the game.
Hold on, where are we with this? Okay, I need one more walker.
Someone has asked what's wrong with being a Pom, and I will leave that unsaid. But I am Australian.
Oh,
We do have a rivalry for a reason. Colonialism is bad.
I was like, why didn't the level finish? But yeah, I still need to get more of these probe droids, and I could have got turned around, but I was like, no, there'll totally be more here. Randomness will be nice to me. By the way, we use all the speedrun lingo like RNG, like these acronyms. We probably shouldn't assume that everyone knows what that means. That stands for random number generation, and it's our fancy way of just saying luck or randomness.
Yes. I'm actually really not a huge fan of the term RNG. It is one of my little bugbears of the speedrunning community because it's correct in many contexts, but not informative.
Right, I agree.
Because there's different forms of randomness. And RNG is like a very base level explanation where there's physics randomness and there's deterministic randomness and there's all of that other stuff. So when you're talking about non-deterministic randomness, talking about the RNG seems to be not properly informing the people. It's like telling people a lie that they understand, as opposed to trying to better communicate the truth.
I made a video about any percent speedruns at the beginning of the year, and I thought it would be a good idea to explain what any percent was during that time, but I won't do that right now because no one's playing any percent. We've got Collectible Rush, and then we've got 70-ish%. I think you can figure out what that one means easily enough. Unlike what I'm trying to do right here, which is clip through the ice. There we go. That one's got a really finicky explanation, so go for it, Mage Car.
Yeah, so that isn't a standard Yoda clip. We can't just Yoda clip through that door because we actually clipped too far. So the 2 rooms are located really close together. So if you try to clip through the door, you end up clipping so far that you end up taking the other loading zone back to the room you were in. So instead, there's a very small gap between the door and the wall, and Yoda's just able to squeeze through that. Basically, it's pretty precise, and I saw a couple of times they ended up
I need that. I can
clipping past the door.
Yoda. Sorry.
Yeah.
We have reached our hour mark, so whenever whenever you have a good opportunity to pause, we can go ahead and hit our first break.
All right.
By the sound of it, the end of the
this
level?
It's got a couple minutes, and then I should be at like the halfway point of this run.
Yeah,
That
sure.
sounds very good to me. That sounds almost perfect. I've started a section I didn't expect to work on during this portion, which is also good.
Hey, nice pace.
Yeah. The problem is that my numbers are wholly awful. I am not great at maths, despite skipping a grade in school for maths, because I then repeated a grade for different reasons. School.
That's a net even, though, right?
That's what I thought. Like, I graduated at the time that I was meant to graduate. But I'm also 35, so really what happened to me during primary school doesn't seem wholly relevant to my life anymore.
Wait, hold on. Where's everyone watching me get a red brick? I haven't got the one in this level yet.
I red bricked.
Oh, they're on your screen now. Chat, I shouldn't be telling you this, but go wild, man.
The harder you meme something that rhymes with meme.
Oh, can I get this jump? What is happening here? What mistake am I making right here? Other than choosing to play this for GDQ, right?
Yeah, like, I don't know how I got talked into this one. C literally DM'd me one day and was like, could you do this? Like, come up with a speedrun that takes about 3 hours? I'm like, probably?
My brain works in mysterious ways.
Evil. The word is evil, mate.
Wow, he even said mate. That's how you know you're in.
That was the most Australian sentence spoken to me ever.
Crikey,
I
mate.
love
You should
it.
get a load
I'm
of this
here.
lot.
Here for
She's a
it.
real beaut.
No, mate. I'm sorry.
She'll be
I
right.
often talk with someone who is from New Zealand. Actually, he's South African, but he lives in New Zealand. So he's
That's
got an
incredibly
adorable
common.
accent, by the way. I do that, and it makes him laugh a lot, but I should not have done that in front of an actual Australian.
No, I don't think you fully understand the relationship between Australians, New Zealanders, and South Africans. It is, it's sibling rivalry.
Oh, yeah, I'm done with the level, so I can pause here if you've got a good...
I believe I'm at a real good point too.
All right.
All right.
Well, 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, chat. We're going to give Trojan's Hands a little break, because as someone that builds Gundams, I understand how painful this is to sit and do something like this for 3 hours straight. So we're gonna
also gonna brush
pause,
my hair.
get up and stretch, and then we'll be right back, and we'll keep on going. So don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're gonna get going here in just a minute, but just a friendly reminder that your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, your bits, cheered to the GDQ Twitch channel, all help support Games Done Quick, both with Hotfix and with the AGDQ 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy our daily Hotfix content. With that, I'm going to go ahead and throw it back over to Trojan and Laser Trap to continue with our Lego night.
A
All
Lego
right,
Night
well,
of Madness.
Should we get another countdown, do you think?
Yeah, when you want, I'll pick up bricks.
All right. I'm ready for the countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I hope I
And
didn't move
where-
too early. I'm not a cheater. I didn't move during the break. I swear.
Look, I didn't see anything. I was busy pre-sorting Lego. Like,
So, You've joined me at a really enthralling level right here. Falcon Flight. There is going to be, there are going to be a lot of explosions in this because of the asteroids we go through. And there is one mini kit that we haven't really solved. Like there's a walkthrough for all the collectibles that says move forward and like you'll get this mini kit without any warning. And I don't completely agree with that. My explanation of this mini kit is I just got it right there and I don't know why, but it is in the middle of one of these really big asteroids and I don't know a lot about it. Fortunately, I already got it, so I no longer have to worry about it, and now I just have to worry about getting all these TIE fighters, 10 of them, so that I can get mini kit number 4, and we're kind of flying with this level.
Yeah, there's really not good cues for that mini kit. Like when I was like routing this category and stuff, like if you don't do like the exact like same movement every time, you just miss it.
Pretty much. So fortunately I've got it figured out now. It's after the second mini kit, and it is to the left a little bit of where that one is. Inside one of the big boulders, I'm not entirely sure which.
Yeah, so if people are wondering about the 30%-ish that I haven't done, if you look at the instructions that are on the screen, that is about 30% of the entire kit, just by pure brick count. And I've already built that ahead of time because I'm not doing that on stream. That's a thing that you would time lapse.
So what you're saying is you're a pumpkin eater.
No, as an Australian, we don't really partake in the whole tradition of Thanksgiving and whatnot. As I am the only person... We also don't do Halloween. As I'm the only one who's really done this in this sort of context, I get to set the rules, and therefore I'm allowed to say that nothing I'm doing is cheating, because I get to decide.
That's the real question.
I don't think it's a glitch. I think it's more of a subcategory.
There is an old meme for you.
Don't get me started. Where's the other one of these bad boys? It was meant to be 2 of these.
Oh no, I continue the story. Whoops.
Oh, there she goes.
I was going to say, oh yeah, hi Chesswiz. Chesswiz in the chat, another Lego speedrunner. I need to do takeover first. Of course, last time I was on this show, 2 months ago, I was racing Complete Saga any percent DS versus PC, and then Lego Star Wars 3 DS versus PC. Pretty fun time. So there's another thing you can go back and watch if you want more Lego that's been on GDQ.
Indeed. And I'm pretty sure that was the genesis for this.
You know, C mentioned then that I didn't get the fruit brick. He didn't mention that. He should have.
Well, it would have been weird for him
really
too.
Helpful. C mentioned then there's like, oh, I've got someone else and they want to maybe do a Lego build on this. So I think C kind of made it sound as if you wanted to do this Trojan. And you're making it sound like you got roped into it.
I think it's safe to say it's everyone's fault but mine.
Oh, okay.
Plot thickens.
So even mine a little bit.
Yes. So what had happened was I had been convinced by my old boss, Mark Serrels, who, if you know who he is, you know who he is, I guess, and to make a Lego TikTok channel. And I don't like TikTok. I'm too old. I'm 35. Because I've been making some time-lapse videos and posting them sporadically on my Twitter account. And he was like, these will go off if you made them on TikTok. So I made like 3 of them, and I think C saw one of them. That's a good sentence. Oh wait, that doesn't go there yet, because I want to do the other thing first.
Let it be known
saw
that I too am too old for TikTok, so I saw your Twitter.
I'm 21 and I just got TikTok this week after avoiding it for a very long time.
Dang
I still
youths.
don't understand it. And basically, I haven't made any more videos on that channel since he asked me to do this. Literally because I did not have the time. I had to put all my Lego times towards this.
Hold on, Houston, we have a problem. Major, what minikit am I missing? Help. I should have 5 by now.
Meanwhile, I get to attach my pre-built section.
Did I get... Oh, I made this one spawn, but I didn't actually get it. Okay, that's way more simple than I thought it was. Okay. So I've now clipped through that door 3 times. The first time was to be able to re-enter that room from the back, but warp the AI to where I was. The second time was leaving after not getting the minikit, and the third time was leaving after getting the minikit. And this room I have to get the red brick. Oh, I'm all over the place now. Uh-oh.
Alright, meanwhile, I just realized I'd forgotten to put some things on before putting on my pre-built section, which is going to be a nice little mechanical flourish if I can get it to sit stably, and if I've done it wrong, it's part of why I've asked for the maximum possible time to do this. Because this is a jerk to diagnose if you make mistakes on it. Also, I keep breaking off sections.
You can't do that. Okay, I really am all over the place right now. This is a shame because this is one of my favorite levels to run in any category. You get Yoda in story mode, so you get to do a lot of fun Yoda movement. Oh boy, let's get up here, please. I'm going to start talking to you like the children I have to work with.
Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. It works perfectly right.
Okay, now we're back in the groove, I hope. There's a Dream Vader fight in this room. I can skip it all. I do need a minikit, of course, because this is all the collectibles as opposed to 99% of them. I don't get to be cool and have an ish in my category name. Or at least that is the plan.
You know, you can just make up your own category anytime and put ish in it.
I mean, 100%.
How about glitchless-ish?
That's good. Or glitch-ishless.
Glitch-ishless, yeah. Yeah.
Because that's
use
going
all
to
the
be
major
really
glitches,
hard to
just
say.
don't use any minor ones.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm
that
feeling.
sounds terrible. I don't care what game. That sounds terrible.
I mean, that's not entirely... Like, I could probably modify the Trauma Center run to fit that pretty well. If I put that there... So I'm trying to think about what things look like on camera as well while I'm doing this. Which is probably not the best idea, but this is a visual format.
This is one of the biggest levels in the game, Cloud City Trap. It combines what is usually 2 levels on PC and console, which would be Cloud City Trap and Betrayal over Bespin. Oh, I just fought Baba. I was going to show off a detonator clip here. I guess now I'm not going to show off any of them. And also, don't judge my pronunciation of Baba. Everyone does it all the time, and it makes me sad. It's fine, you can judge it all you want.
Bubba is fine.
I haven't missed any panel skips yet with the minigame, so that's nice. Frame perfect, by the way. It's as simple as pressing 2 buttons in the same frame, but I usually miss it during the run.
Yeah, when we use that to skip cutscenes in story mode, it is quite a bit more difficult.
Yeah, that one is something completely different. In this game, for story mode, as well as Batman DS and Indiana Jones 1 DS, you can skip the story cutscenes as long as they're not at the beginning of the level with a frame-perfect pause on the last frame you have control. And actually, that has been recently found in 2 PC games, but kind of more evil and kind of less evil at the same time. Less evil because
Differently
you can see
evil.
the cutscene start, but more evil because it's in 60 frames instead of 30. I need this for brick. stop forgetting things. It's fine. I haven't had to re-enter levels for things yet. I'm going to do a paranoia pause check here. 250 is correct. All right, now I've got a boss. Not much happens. Talk to me about building things again. I like hearing about building things.
Building things, that's what I'm doing. So I am getting towards the end of the TV part of the build, which is half of the build. The other half is the actual console itself, which is currently in a bunch of little plastic baggies at my feet.
Wait, where do you... Oh.
And I'm actually doing what's going to be the front of the TV that will sit just here, nice and pretty. It's got some fun little aspects to it, but this is one of the parts that really did me in when I was planning this whole build overall. So basically the entire quote-unquote speedrun here was trying to organize the different aspects of it to work out what would be most optimal to do in one big hit with limited desk space. What you can see of this build area here, I have about, I've got a couple of inches either side of the build area as well, and that's pretty much the entire surface of my desk that's usable space. So a lot of it was trying to break things down in such a way that I could organize them and have ready access to them to then put them into the Lego build. But I also had to try and work out how to rearrange the instructions so that I could then actually have those chunks that I've broken down follow a more logical progression, so I could do like all of these big brown pieces and so on.
Oh!
That sounded like fun.
Wow. I just got Vader first try on JDQ again. That was just for fun. Nice. I don't have to do that to save any time, but I did that last time on this show too, where it actually saves time in story mode to skip that. And I always enjoy the chat reactions for what on earth happened there. Yeah, so that is a frame perfect 1 in 4 frame roll thing-ish. I'll say ish because we're not sure on the frame roll thing.
Yeah, so basically what happened there is if we frame perfectly shoot our blaster like on the last frame that we're able to after a jump, we end up clipping slightly into the floor, and then what happens is we load another room of the level. So basically, if you go to like where another room is in like the game's coordinate plane, you can load the graphics of that room.
Did that work?
And if
no, right?
That should work, I think.
Okay, I'm going for some other wacky stuff here. Okay, it did. I didn't see if the other room loaded.
Yeah,
I just wasn't sure if the Yoda momentum killed it.
Yeah, but so if you character swap while another room is...
I'm sorry, I didn't notice if I swore just then. I might have done it completely by accident. Yeah. I didn't mean to.
It's all good.
Sorry.
Keep on.
You're good. You're good.
So if you character swap while another room is loaded, it changes the set of objects that are loaded from like the room that you're in to now the new room's objects, which means the old room's objects are no longer loaded, so we can just walk through the door to the next room. And so the reason that there's like a 1 in 4 frame rule basically is that the game only checks to improperly load rooms every 4 frames. I don't know really why that they would add that, considering I don't think improper loads are an intended feature in the first place, but I don't know. Yeah, so there's essentially a 1 in 4 chance that you get the trick even if you get the frame perfect input, so getting it first try is quite impressive.
More clipping through walls here as well. And yeah, so we mentioned ignoring collision in a few different ways, and one of them, as you've seen, in 2 different ways in that level, both to do that and then to end the level, was to delete collision in that way. The doors were just suddenly gone. We should mention...
Those poor doors.
Yeah, did you mention that you can't Yoda clip through those doors and that's why we do it differently?
Yeah, so there are a couple reasons why we might not be able to Yoda clip through doors. In 5.5, the reason is because when we Yoda clip through like an object, we go like completely through the object. So if there's like another object on the other side, or if like, there's a wall,
I can't get through this door. There we go.
yeah, we basically like clip through like the door, but then the game realizes there's another object in the way, so it doesn't move us. Is what happens. So we're not able to clip through doors in 5.5, except for the Vader section. That's not the case. We are able to clip through there, but not in like the Betrayal of Bespin section.
This is one of those games that's very technical, and we don't always know why.
As a trauma center runner, I fully appreciate that. We have a lot of things where it's just like the game just does it.
Ooh, that's
Like
not
patient
the
dead? No,
inputs I told
cool.
you to
Let's
do.
happen.
Speaking of doors doing wacky things, we've deleted the collision, but now let's just delete the door altogether. There are meant to be doors here. There's not meant to be a mini kit and a red brick just chilling back here. Red brick, by the way. But if you clip through the first door, all the other doors are just not there. So that's nice.
That seems very convenient. And I'm just plugging away at the front of this television set. It looks like I'm sliding a little bit away from the camera. Let me just adjust a bit. And yes, the TV is badged low-tech. Xeno Veritas in chat just pointing that out, and I was going to mention it as well because it's a cool little detail in a set basically entirely made of cool little details. Ooh, tangled on my headphones. Always fun. Oh, I just hit a little
Not been
further
going
forward.
well on this level at all. Oh well.
That's alright. It's a video game. Video games can be jerks.
Alright, I'm going into my 18th level of the run. Funnily enough, it would be the 18th one I would play in all levels as well, in story mode. But I'm going in a completely wacky order here. I'm liking the word wacky right now, aren't I? Let's use say wacky a few more times.
Wiki ding dang doodle. Now you're not going to.
What was I going to say? Yeah, this level is pretty forgettable normally, and on top of that, the collectible locations are rather uninspired. This first room is not that big, but it's got 5 mini-kits, and one of those mini-kits is already getting all 3 of the fruit bricks together, which can be scattered in containers anywhere through the level, but they just happen to all be in the first room here. I'm not playing this super optimally.
I'm
I
actually
couldn't
just
possibly be tired, could I?
In story
that's
mode,
my
this level is one of the coolest in the run. If you go for a strat that no human has performed, it's possible to keep. You get Ben Kenobi in the first room, but normally you lose him and play and get Han Solo and Chewbacca instead. But there's a glitch that you can go out of bounds and keep him, and then you can use him for another skip in the final room.
We can do that RTA in the next level I'll play, but that's in story mode, so we don't need to worry about it too much. And also, we don't get to see that skip in this run because we have to play the whole level for collectibles as it is. Still, there will be some interesting things we haven't yet seen in this run, and in fact, we only see in the next level after this. Wait, how do I play this? I am completely forgetting how I play this section. Oh yeah,
I'm
I can put
completely
things on
forgetting
the
to
other
keep
side of
things
this
on
door
frame.
without opening the door. There. And there's a red brick.
Red brick. I had 1 red brick during this section. I probably could have said it. I definitely didn't just turn over the section that I'm working on to see.
Hello? Why do these levers work that way? I'm so confused by those. I definitely took longer the second time and it worked for some reason.
Yeah, the right one stays down a lot longer for no apparent reason.
Okay, good to know. That would have been nice to know a while ago.
Thankfully, I know the most important thing about my run from the get-go, and that is that it is a bad idea. But committing to bad ideas is my thing.
I mean, you gotta have one thing, right?
Yeah, I probably should have chosen a better one, but it's very much on brand that I have not. Because it's really just doubling down at that point. Having one thing, which is being bad, well, committing to bad ideas, is in fact itself a bad idea. Thus, furthering the bad idea train.
You can't clip me through the ceiling and then put me back through the floor. What?
It sounds like they just did, and thus they can.
I guess I was not far enough through the ceiling. Okay, let's get back into more of a groove of good gameplay. I think that sounds like a great idea, don't you?
I like that idea.
All right.
Just play perfect.
Yes, exactly. I would love to do that, and therefore I will, right?
Yeah, that's all
I'm
it
going
takes.
to immediately miss this activation skip. Nope, I lied. Still got all of those so far.
I was about to be like, starting now.
Yes. Although I am going to go
So
through the
it's-
ceiling this time, and then hopefully back through the ceiling, just not where I went through the ceiling in the first place, and skip that door. That one we cannot Yoda clip through because we have too much speed when we Yoda clip. And too much speed means we get put back in the same room because of the way loading zones are positioned, and the game being really cool like that.
That ceiling clip is frame perfect, by the way. You need to build up the hype for that, I think.
Yes. I always forget that part because I used to think it was only 2 frames, and then this guy was like, actually, it's frame perfect. I just never told you because I wanted to... no, never mind. It wasn't like that at all. I just never knew it was only 1 frame.
Like, yeah, we just wanted it to be really hard. Like, we knew it was really hard, but we didn't want to tell you because that would have scared you.
It's a pretty important trick for story mode, so a lot of runners will actually learn it if they want to go fast in general. Although,
and
not many people play all levels in story mode because we have the funny 20-minute any % category.
What? I've just done the channel knob, which, let's see if I can line that up properly. It's there, and you can hear your Lego ASMR.
Oh boy, that is quite...
Which is achieved by this mechanism here. So,
And while that was going on, I did a really cool mid-air lever pull. One time you do that in this run. There's an explanation for that one, which I'm sure MageCar is dying to let you all know.
Indeed. Yeah, so we can pull the lever for the same reason that we're able to like jump in midair with Yoda. Basically, the game when determining like whether like you can do like a certain action, in almost all cases it only looks at like your state, and there isn't like a separate state for like using your lightsaber in the air versus on the ground. So you're able to do like a bunch of different grounded actions such as jumping and pulling a lever.
And in this room, I'm doing some blind building. So I would really appreciate it if Trojan Rabbit would put on a blindfold and build right now.
no.
Okay, fair enough. It's done anyway. I
Well,
just had
see,
to
that-
build some things behind the doors, and that would activate the mini kit.
Excellent. Well, what I can do is mention a fun little Easter egg that I worked into this build myself. So, when I found out we were doing I was racing against Star Wars, my plan was to replace the Mario that bounces along the screen, this fella, just replace him with a light side or dark side vehicle that I was going to build yesterday. Except it turns out I was missing like 3 of the 20 pieces that you needed to do it. But I also just don't want...
me light or dark side.
Yes, I was going to build a TIE Interceptor. And if you had said light side, I was going to build an X-Wing. But unfortunately, I couldn't find the right pieces to pull that off, so I came up with a Mario-themed solution instead. So instead of having Mario go, we have a bullet bill.
Oh.
I'm
seeing the bullet bill. It is on my screen, and I am looking at it go. And I just told you 3 lies in a row. How do you feel?
betrayed. I thought we had something real happening here, but I don't know if I can trust you after that.
Man, I do really wish I could see what was happening, but yeah, wasn't there some special place I could go see after the fact?
Well, that
There
does
is.
seem like something.
You'll be able to watch this tomorrow on our YouTube channel. And you know,
Can everyone
if you're somebody,
watch it tomorrow?
they should be able to.
Amazing.
And if you are someone that's on YouTube tomorrow watching this, or you know any other day, why don't you come join us at twitch.tv/gamesdonequick and catch our live content weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern, because we'd love to have you here.
Oh, we love being here too.
Indeed, this is a
I got everything right. It was a
little
bit,
bit of fun.
bit late to check
Yes.
that. Oh, I didn't do the 3PO panel again, because that's a classic thing for me. When I do collectible rushes, is I forget to do the 3PO panel up here to end the level. And, okay. The AI was riding the Falcon up there, as you do.
For anyone who was impressed by the little bullet bill, it is actually part of the Lego Mario minifig mini build thing. So I've got like a little Goomba here that I'm missing some bits of because I couldn't be bothered. And I actually have a one-up mushroom that I will be putting on top of the build as my little capstone piece. Those are actual just legitimate Lego sets. Now that I've finished the speakers on that, I can finish putting the top of this together, and then the TV itself will be complete. What I might do is move that over here.
Meanwhile, I'm just flying a ship again, and there is not a whole lot to say here. I guess I could tell you about the mini-kit requirements here. Once again, shoot down 10 of these TIE fighters. I already picked up the 2 fruit bricks that are in this room. There will be some floor buttons in a V shape in just a second. I also have to take out 6 of these tall blue pillars, whatever they are. They control the energy in some way or other, I'm sure. The chaotic energy. I'm not really turning around because that would take some time, but I'm also not doing a great job of doing it fast without turning around.
Cool. And just on that note, I have finished the TV.
GG.
So that is part 1 of my build, which means I am at halfway. And hopefully we are at halfway through the time. Oh, that is exactly on pace. Holy crap.
Nice.
We are at 1:31:20.
Very nice, very nice.
Just trying to position this TV somewhere where it's visible but not in my way. Okay. On to the next bit. Good. Where did I put the next bit?
I'm to a section where I have to do nothing. I just need to do nothing. The level will progress. I'm invincible, so I'll survive and get the survival mini kit. And I guess some things will happen. I paused there, by the way, because there's a cutscene that happens there for story mode, and all ship levels are on story mode. And pausing during the transition is a good enough way to get the frame perfect pause. Anyway, I'm going to take a drink.
Drinking is good. Everyone stay hydrated. I actually forgot a little bit of my TV build. There is a stand that I just kind of had all the bits put aside because it's a little stand. So I need to finish that as well. Oops. But it's like a 2-minute build. Oh no, I'm slightly behind pace. I lied.
Un-GG, taking it back.
That is fair, reasonable, but I do hate you slightly for it.
No,
I don't.
your GG privileges have been officially revoked.
That's okay. I am a subscriber of the GDQ channel, because
Wait a
I
minute,
use
I'm
Twitch
not.
Prime, so I
But-
can spam GG.
Oh, you can. I'm not a subscriber, but isn't it still September? Like, couldn't
It
you
is
just
for like a
technically-
day.
Yeah. you could technically, gift a sub bomb, and I might get randomly gifted because they're 25% off, and we have some really generous GDQ viewers, don't we?
We do.
All right, I've got 2
Awkward
episodes
silence.
left. I'm going from one ship level to another, unfortunately, but... Oh, let's just show off Jar Jar for a second. I found him in the cantina. Jar Jar can infinitely jump like this. Unfortunately, RTA, we need to get some RNG to ever see this. But yes, there is an infinite jump glitch that can be used in speedruns sometimes, just not often this one. No,
Yeah.
yes.
In RTA free play runs, we choose custom character in some levels, who's identical to Jar Jar, but he's on the same page as Ghost Yoda, so we don't need to take time to switch between pages. But yeah, so the infinite jump can be used to skip huge sections of levels because, like, as you mentioned earlier, if you go to like where like a level is, like in where a room is in the coordinate plane, you can basically load that level and then take the loading zone and skip massive portions of levels. So like 4-1 took us like obviously we're collecting the mini kits, but it took many minutes, but that level is like under 20 seconds with the infinite jump. As like the most extreme example of skipping literally everything.
All right. We've got
Yeah,
everything in
this-
this first room. It's kind of another random list of requirements. 5 is the correct number. It'll be 6 when I beat this room without dying, which I can do because I am invincible. Had
That
to
sounds
read with
right.
that voice.
Yeah, of course. So this little bit that I'm currently building is one of my least favorite things about some of the larger Lego sets is that they often put this random trivial detail of the build as like the final bit. So you just kind of miss.
H-car, the thing happened again. I'm sorry. But the red brick pickup that shouldn't work, it happened again.
I don't know why that happens. That's such a mystery. I've never seen it before, like 2 days
I
ago.
picked up the red brick. I just was nowhere near it. Sorry, George, go ahead. I won't talk for the rest of the level. I promise.
It's fine. I was just complaining about Lego, but I was hearing something about a Phantom Menace.
Oh, this is true. Wait, I spoke. Darn it.
Yeah. Can we just like add 5 minutes to your timer for that? that would be rude, but hilarious. It's on Ray to do that. So anyway, I've built the stand, and what I was saying before was, I'm like oddly obsessed with the quality of Lego instructions. And first thing I'm going to do with the stand is take it off because it won't be in frame. So that part was entirely unnecessary. A lot of the Lego instructions are just... Some of them are really well made together where you do a couple of sections and they come together in a really awesome way. And then others, you'll have a sequence of things where the main body is completed, but then you have to do some trivial side bit as the finishing touch, which is actually really disappointing to me. It feels like you've been a little bit robbed of the putting the last brick in place and seeing the whole, because you do the big thing and you get that moment of having the last brick in place, and then you've got like another 100 bricks.
So you were really bricked in this one. Over bricked, in fact. Okay,
Yes.
okay. There was no pun there.
No, it was just words.
It was words. Sometimes we say words. I'm good at saying words, not good at making sense.
Word do hard.
I'm in Grievous, and yes, I just immediately got 3 minikits because the minikit placement here is really good. Grievous is the shortest level in the run, funnily enough. And,
So it's the Yoda, or is it the
Grown-ups.
with the baby Yoda?
I have never seen Mandalorian, and last time we established I've never seen Clone Wars either.
Have you still not seen Clone Wars? Did you resolve that? I should have.
I wasn't gonna bring it
should have
up, but
made
I
that a
just did.
stipulation for being on again. Was that you had to watch Clone Wars first? That's on me. I messed up.
Excuse me. Yeah, that does sound a bit like your failure as a showrunner, I'm afraid, C.
Yeah, I should have vetted you properly and made sure you'd seen Clone Wars before allowing this to happen.
Look, if we're doing that, I haven't seen any of the new Star Wars other than Episode 7. And I saw that on the day that David Bowie died. I literally went in...
People might tell you that doesn't matter as much.
See, I'm not one of those people who care? That's not the right way to phrase that. I think people should like what they like. I like the original trilogy. I don't need more Star Wars than that. As a kid, I thought I did, and I watched the prequel trilogy. And I've watched a bit of The Mandalorian, but I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. Wanted something a bit goofier. But, like, there's more Star Wars, and that's excellent for people who want more Star Wars.
Oh.
I want to see Mark Hamill being a not-so-good, slightly hammy actor as a bratty child, and Han Solo being a charismatic jerk and all of that stuff. I don't need to see Star Destroyers being beaten up by a flying woman. Although I kind of do. I'm talking myself into watching them, aren't I?
If you want
Wait,
Star
that was
Wars
not
but
where I thought it
silly,
was. Whoops.
Star
I
Wars
did
but
something
silly, you should watch Clone Wars.
Oh,
I've heard so
Bring it
many
all the
good
way
things
back
about Clone
around.
Wars.
It's great. It's the best Star
Although-
Wars content that exists.
I could get a lot of people very unhappy with me if I said that was a low bar. But I actually think the best Star Wars content is not the best made Star Wars content.
okay. We are going to exit this level because I guess I picked Forlom on the touchscreen. We love touchscreen controls. That's like the first time possibly ever I have actually gone into a level with the wrong character selected.
So you've
out
never
of
done that before?
Missing it on the touchscreen and not muscle memory being bad. I picked the wrong character because of other characters I pick in other categories, but not because of just hitting the wrong part of the screen entirely. Also, I am walking on air because I am a legendary speedrunner.
Of course. Or you've just decided that you're suddenly playing
Cool.
Uncharted.
Yes, there is that glitch in Uncharted, isn't there? What's actually happening is that I am creating collision, and that's not true. I'm not creating it. I just said it to sound cool. Because we delete it, why not create it? But the collision just exists there even when the bridge is not visually set down. But the bridge collision is always present.
What am I doing? I'm like, look at the instruction and I'm just confusing myself. Because I was holding the piece the wrong way.
We're both
Reorientating
getting so
yourself?
confused. Isn't this a beautiful mess?
This is exactly what I imagined would happen. Like, if anyone who's looking at the instructions, you can see that this white symbol of basically two orbit arrows, I don't really know how, elliptical arrows, I guess you could say, which means rotate the piece. And I just completely whiff on seeing that so many times, so I get disorientated when the instructions change orientation. Which is probably not an ideal thing for what's going on. Where am I at? That goes back here.
Okay, I do have to set on the off the bombs on this beach. It's more like the beach. I make that joke every time. We've also got the balcony in Camino. But no, this is the beach. And we have to set off bombs to activate the red brick. Bit of a strange one. This level's got a couple of odd collectibles. The bomb one isn't too bad, but it's the one in the last room that is like, you really do have to be a break everything kind of player to find it. Because you have to break everything and then it appears. Just break all the bushes and it'll appear. We'll see that. But there will be something else to talk about when you get there as well.
Indeed.
Right now, I have another issue with falling off of platforms.
The Eiffel platform.
Yeah, you tell him. That's kind of a tricky quad jump.
Yeah, there's a ton of invisible walls there that make it a lot harder than it looks.
Quad jump meaning you jump 4 times in the air, but twice is from an attack, and twice is from actually using their double jump. Good to reiterate that one more time, I suppose. We triple jump a lot, like right here to get height.
So quad means 4. If I had a notepad, I'd write that down.
Okay. Yeah, that will be on the test.
That's not ideal. I'm not good at tests. I am incredibly ADHD, which should probably be apparent by my entire vibe here. I am going to have to move the completed TV off of the active build area for a little while, but I will try and remember to bring it back at points so that people can see where we're progressing. Unfortunately, I just don't have quite the room allowance I thought I did. But it is just here.
Okay, I'm on the cycle I want to be, and I could jump over that boulder right at the beginning. Okay, now something a little bit weird might happen. So this is the last room where I mentioned you have to break every bush to get the mini kit. But I'm going to do something that is a little bit riskier than it should be, and that is not get the mini kit. Don't worry, it's not as bad as it sounds, because I do plan on getting it. But I also might not if I don't do it in time, because what I'm going to do is activate the end of the level, which will set a timer for it to fade out. And in that time, I'm going to go back and get the mini kit over here.
Red brick.
And I got it. Okay. We are safe. We have still not missed anything, I think. Unless I missed anything earlier.
I don't think you have.
Okay.
Well,
Usually
I guess there's
when
one way
we
to find out.
think something, it is true. Except for when it isn't.
That sounds right. I believe that. I have several pieces of Lego that I do not see. There's one in a little baggie. That's convenient. That's one. But there's a larger piece that I quite definitely need for this build to continue. I don't definitely need it. I can do a lot of cheeky shortcut things, but I would rather not. So I'm pretty confident that... Okay, let me walk this back. So I'm looking for this piece that was just hidden from my sight because I'm blind. Okay, problem solved. Good talk, guys. Gals, gang. All people.
You let me get in my zone real quick, and I was now finally settling into the speedrun aspect of this again.
Sorry, I didn't mean to let you do well.
Yeah, I wondered if that was a mistake. Coming up, I mentioned this like every single time I do this, even on my stream, to like all nobody who's really listening at the time. But once I can clip through this door, which is a bit of a pain apparently, this is some of my favorite movement, and it doesn't even look that impressive at all. But breaking all of these chairs to make the red brick appear, it flows really nicely when you're playing it, and when you understand what Yoda movement takes to be fast. I haven't mentioned this at all yet, but breaking objects, sometimes, actually quite often, I like to do with a double jump and a slam. And if you just do that into the ground, which sometimes happens when I miss, you'll get stuck in an animation where you're just on the spot for a bit. But onto an object that you can break, you don't get that animation and you can keep moving. So with Yoda's attack pattern moving in sets of 3s, like 3 different attacks and then a pause, which you would usually jump out of, you can just casually break the things on the way with some of your attacks, and then the other ones you would double jump out of the end of the attack sequence, I hope you're following along, and then slam into the object, but keep moving so it has a really nice flow. And I'm sure you understood everything I just said, because that is going to be the longest answer on the test.
Would you believe that I had my head underneath my desk looking for some Lego pieces because I have one more of this piece that I am pointing at that I'm meant to be adding to the build that I don't know where it is. I'm hoping that I've incorporated into a different part of the subsets by accident, because it looks like that's it there in what would be the next section. So
Well,
I'm going to hope that's the case.
luckily for you, the location of that piece is also on the test.
Well, I'm just going to take the fail.
This is a wild test.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have a word to your dean after this, if I'm being honest. It seems like you're wholly unprofessional, and I would like a refund.
Me?
Yes.
No, I work in a school. I can give you this test.
What have I missed?
The Yoda clip into this room is very difficult. It's I think the second
Yeah, as I
hardest one.
demonstrated.
Yeah, so you need to be moving with your second swing in the correct direction, and there just isn't much room to work with there. If you start moving too early, you'll get pushed away from the door and won't be able to clip.
Okay, this is the second shortest level in the run. I have a weird habit of forgetting things in this level, so hopefully this doesn't become the first revisit I have to do, other than being in reset heck at the beginning of the run, if anyone remembers that long ago.
There was a beginning?
Yeah, I know. Fortunately, the beginning is not on the test.
Whew. This first bit of mercy.
I know. Had to end somewhere, right?
I guess that it did.
Evil Emperor laugh. There are some characters in this game that will just randomly, or periodically, I guess, make a sound effect they have, like the Emperor's laugh and Chewie's roar. A couple of bounty hunter sounds like IG-88. Oh, of course, how can we forget the classic Utini? Where? Okay. I was not standing in the right spot for the force to be used right there, apparently. And yes, this is a very creative room where you do things and then mini-kits appear on that side of the room. So there's just 4 mini-kits hanging out right there. Also right next to this container, which has a fruit brick.
Of course.
They should have 7. Yep. 2 fruit bricks, 7 mini-kits.
And then we have a bit of a
Yeah,
unique
go for
clip
it.
here. So basically, if we stand on certain objects, they like slanted objects, they'll push us in a direction, and that doesn't check for walls and stuff. So we can just go directly through the door, and that's possible in story mode as well. And
Yeah, that's another door we can't like do a regular clip with for some reason.
I don't recall the exact reason you can't on that door.
Because it's a jerk? I'm always happy to go with
Yeah,
that
probably.
reason. It's pretty indisputable.
All right, so that is episode 3 done. I did episode 2 way back earlier in the run, so now only episode 1 is left. I've got 5 levels. I think it'll take about 20 minutes. I'm not sure. How do you feel? Could you go for another 20 minutes before we do our break?
Yeah, let's run 20. That should get me past a pretty cool mechanism, which would be a good closing point on my,
All right.
like, if we're
let's do
calling
it.
it segment. Let's find out.
Your
Yeah, I'm, actually,
segmented world record.
Woo! I am actually building one of the coolest mechanisms I have built out of Lego. It is the cartridge return for the NES. So if anyone has ever actually used one of the old Nintendos, which, by the way, I always called them Nintendos, I never called them NESs, so that was fun when I found out everyone else did it the other way, not ostracizing at all. You'll remember that they have sort of a VCR pop-up return thing, so you press down on the cartridge and it pops out and slides out of the cartridge slot. Very spiffy, very simple, looks really cool. I'm building that out of Technic right now, and it is like really cool. Aside from the standard Lego pieces, the only thing out of the ordinary is this spring piece that I'm holding. There's two of those that give it a bit of the thing, but the main latch that does all of the real work, that is entirely Lego and even cooler. I am such a massive nerd for liking that stuff, but I am currently building Lego on the Games Done Quick channel, so that was pretty presumed.
Well, I mean, you say there's not been a that's never happened before moment for you yet, but we can have one for the whole channel with building Lego really fast, right?
Yes, we can.
So there you go. You have to have at least one.
Yes.
Oh,
Although-
clip. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was brain. I have no good description for what was just happening in my head.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
One of the most annoying things of putting this all together is just getting Technic pieces to click into place. Technic is really cool and allows you to do some amazing mechanisms, but it's also very fiddly and even worse to take apart. And trust me, I've got a lot of practice at that now. But the reward is you get some amazing mechanisms and some also incredibly strong mechanisms, which means that if you're trying to do quite a lot of things with Lego, you are basically you're unlocking a significant amount of additional potential. It's how you do much larger builds overall because you're allowed to have much lighter
Red brick.
head brick.
Yeah, there's only 5
much-
levels per episode, so that means that's the 5th to last red brick in the run. And I was going to avoid telling all of you this, but you should really go crazy because there are no red bricks in the next game. Even if I wanted to get red bricks, they just don't exist. Isn't that sad?
That is incredibly sad, and I wish you hadn't told me that because I will be sad for the remainder of this stream. But it's okay. I will get
Would
over
that
it.
make you
I'm an
build
adult.
slower? Because maybe that was my plan.
It may, or it may have the reverse where I try and build faster to try and distract myself from the sadness.
Ooh.
It could go either
okay,
way, I don't
noted.
know.
Trojan, would you say that the this cartridge mechanism is your favorite part of this build that you're doing tonight?
Yeah, definitely. When I first put it together, it was just, I think I spent a good 30 minutes just going click, click, and just pressing on it so it went up and down and up and down. I was like a toddler. It was amazing. Although, funnily enough, my toddler, not so enthused with this mechanism. She prefers the typewriter.
Ooh, a Lego typewriter sounds
Interesting.
Yeah, you know what? After the next break, I'll have it set up in front so I can give it a quick demonstration before we start the next part, if you like. It's sitting on top of my desk right now.
Okay, so
No,
I have
'cause
no
that
idea
is-
if this is the optimal way to do this, but it's something I like to try and show off every time, and I'm not super good at it. But this jump up here to an area a lesser seen area. There we go. That's how you grammar on occasion.
Syntax. Yeah, I'm throwing you off. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. That's allowed, I guess. Okay, I have still not missed any of the panel minigame skips. And we're almost at the end of the run. I am
Frame
about
perfect,
to
by the
cross
way.
a really big gap from... Wait, what?
Said frame perfect, by the way, jokingly.
Yes, frame perfect, by the way.
Roger.
I crossed a really big gap from really high up. Because, yes.
Because
it
yes
was
is
required.
because yes is possibly the best reason you could offer.
What about because I'm Batman?
But you're Yoda.
True. I almost did a Batman game with this.
Yeah, I actually thought I was going to be racing against a Batman game and a Star Wars game initially. Which
I think that was the original plan, but we weren't sure about the timings of things, because especially with this run, I could have played to my original estimate, like for this game alone, of 220 with a lot of re-entries. Also, this is like not the order you were meant to do this, but I can because Yoda. But alternatively, my PB is now at 204. So there is a lot of time variance with this run in particular.
That's fair. There's
So we had
also
it
a lot
all
of time
wrong again.
variance in this. Because if I lose pieces, it can take 30 seconds to find them, or 2 minutes. Such is the nature of Lego.
The skip I'm about to do to end this room is a really old school one. Only seen in this category now that we have door clips, but we can go over this wall. That's like a legacy skip, I guess, from before door clips were even known about, which seems crazy now because we do them everywhere. We just didn't know how to do it. And then Magecar came along. So the main reason we've got Magecar in the booth, and you know he knows about stuff, but the main reason is because he's responsible for almost everything that makes this game what it is as a speedrun. It's pretty incredible in like all the categories as well, story mode and free play. I have to give him a shout out every single time, except I forgot to when I did my SGDQ 2021 run because Discord did some funky things.
I am very cool.
Yes, you are, and you know it too. And I like that about people. Like if they actually know they're cool, because not enough people know they're cool. I guess during pod race, because I have to play 3 very normal laps. This is the one without any fruit bricks, but I have to play 3 very normal laps and maybe try to go fast, except for the very end. We'll explain that at the very end. This is the time I want to give some shoutouts for this game as well. So of course, Magecar. There's Shemcat, my little brother, except not really. Noxmaster, working on the task right now, and also former record holder. Zelda Cube has beat me in any percent and free play by now. Kind of a scary player because you never know what he could do. Also a really good runner of other 3DS games like Super Mario 3D Land and Ocarina of Time 3D. Just a cool guy in general. He doesn't know it maybe as much as he should. Be more like Magecar, Zelda Cubed. Who else have we got? Give me some more names that we should shout out because there is a bunch of them. There are a bunch of them.
Flaming
While you're
laser
thinking
for
of
the
them.
next run.
Flaming Laser, yep. Beta Anang, for sure.
Finding Vader skip. Very cool.
Yes, we love Vader Skip. Vader of Vader, as it's called.
It's a great name.
Shoutouts to GDQ Hotfix for some reason having me on quite a lot. We're still working on getting LEGO games into the main GDQ schedule, but it's a work in progress. Trojan
Good luck with your
Rabbit,
submissions.
it's been awesome to work with you.
Thank you very
C
much.
Average,
you
awesome
as well.
show host. All the other people behind the scenes. We've got Ray on tech right now. But
Ray
it's not
does an
actually the
amazing
end
job.
of the show yet, so I'll save some more shoutouts for later, huh?
Yeah, but I'm kind of in the mood to throw a few out as well, just because I don't have anything else to say. So Beaver, Shiggy, Winter, all mates of mine who have all helped out in various ways across this, just in general. Cal and Sammy, my former co-workers and friends who were initially going to help, and this was planned as a co-op build because I thought it was going to take that long that it was necessary. Unfortunately, had some conflicting schedule conflicts, so they couldn't take part, and I've had to solo this, but they're still incredibly awesome people who deserve a shout out. My wife Jess, who helped set up the cameras here because I am an absolute novice when it comes to that sort of thing, and probably would have broken it instead of fixing it had I made any real attempt. As well as my little toddler, who I refer to as Wriggles online for privacy reasons, who is just adorable.
There you
Okay,
go.
and now a couple of little shout outs. And now I've got the main part of the cartridge return done, but it doesn't currently have the main part of it because I have to do the latch next, which means that right now I just have to focus on securing the pieces and then going on. So I'm coming up to a real good time for a break. How about you?
I've got 2 levels left to go. Oh no, I missed that. But it will not be more than 10 minutes.
Cool. I can get the latch done in that period then.
Okay.
Or at least attempt to. What are these? Why do I
So
have
a
these two
slightly
pieces?
shorter segment after the break. For me, it should take about 50 minutes, hopefully less. I don't know how long you think you'll have left.
I'm playing it by ear on this one. My timing on this was not particularly well thought out.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm currently just scrolling through the instructions to see why I have these 2 pieces that I don't believe are associated with this part of the build. Huh. So I have 4 extra pieces right now, and I am missing 1. In theory, that's a net gain. Let's see what comes together on this bit. So I am now doing one of these smaller, more incredibly detailed technical parts of the build. These pieces in front of me, I should have counted them beforehand as preparation. These 5, 10, 15,
I just
25
broke my
pieces.
platform.
Oh, don't break your platform. You need that. I mean, maybe you don't, but I assume you do.
I didn't break the DS, and I hope you don't break your desk either.
Oh, it's fine. I can rebuild it.
Whoops.
All right, so yeah, these 25 pieces basically power the most important part of the cool mechanism that we've got going on.
And
it
here's
may not
probably
look
the
like-
hardest regular Yoda clip. Okay, I'll take 3rd try. It's really
3rd
hard to
try is
set
still
up
a
because
success.
it is an awkward angle and there is like no space to work with. And when you have all the space in the world to work with, you can actually take 10 frames to do the correct final input. But in a space like that, it really narrows it down. And I think that one might be 2 frames, but MageCare might tell me it's frame perfect again.
I'm not sure.
Okay, you're just not sure.
Yeah, 2 frames sounds reasonable, I think.
If in doubt, say it's frame perfect because it's more impressive that way.
True.
No one's going to call you out.
How many frame perfect things have you been up to today, Trojan?
0.
Really?
My life is not frame perfect. I am more than willing to accept that because I'm doing something cool that is just outside of that. Also, I've now realized where something happened. 1 second, I'm just going to grab my TV very quickly. Because it turns out I used a wrong piece. So we're just going to accidentally kill the bullet bill and pull out the other side. Well done, me. So you may notice if you're watching, this has 2 connectors on it. But the instructions say that I need one with 1 connector. That's because I was meant to use that piece on this section. So we'll just quickly swap those over because this is quite important for this
That
part of the
didn't work.
build
That one did.
to have the right piece.
That
Because
one
the
didn't
space
work
the space that the connector would have been on is used to do the actual work. But I believe
I just bounced up some detonators from a pit that has collision, except it kills me if I go down there.
that doesn't sound ideal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so I
supposed
have
to.
You can go for it, because I
Yeah,
want to make
you're
sure I get
supposed
this
to.
done.
You're supposed to use the force on like 3 canisters to throw back at him, and in order to be able to do that, you need to kill the 2 battle droids first. But we're able to just throw 2 detonators and then use the force. If we throw 3 detonators, the game actually crashes, so that's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
I-
noticed 2 times I didn't hit him, but I was worried
Yeah.
I didn't see it right, so I thought the game might actually crash, which is why we've been saving for things like that.
Okay, so I was talking before how about a handful of very simple pieces powers an incredible mechanism. That's this. What I'm holding in my hand right now, which I think I've slightly misaligned. I'll just double check against the... maybe?
Here is the last panel I would have to skip in the run. And I've done all of them. All frame perfect panel skips. Frame perfect. By the way, that is me today.
What?
Only sometimes.
So with just a couple of pieces here, creating edges, ledges, things slapped down in a specific spot, which I should probably make sure I'm putting it in. That one looks good. Now, had I secured this properly, hold that down. What am I doing wrong? Oh, that's meant to be one over, isn't it? No? What have I done? I've not pushed that across, that's what. Yeah, so now I legitimately spent 20 to 30 minutes just doing this after I first completed it. It is wholly satisfying.
So this last red brick is one of the most hidden ones in the game, probably, because you have to use dark force on all that stuff. When you could use light force, like regular force, and it would just be, you'd not be able to get it in this time you enter the level, so you'd have to re-enter. That's how you use words. I'm doing a really good job.
That sounds right. They sound like cromulent words.
That's good, at least.
I'm fully embiggened. I'm at a real good point to stop whenever you finish the level.
All right, give me 1 minute. Yeah, so that was the last red brick of the run. This is the penultimate mini-kit right there. We have one more boss fight. And the last mini-kit is from using the force on these 4 lamps around the room. Yeah, we really need light to see who we're fighting. It's Maul, by the way. I know, even though all the lamps aren't on yet.
Spoilers. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, go for it. Just a few seconds. So I'll call time, and that'll be time for this run. But we're just going to pause the timer and keep it going for the build when we come back from the break. I'd be interested to know what my time is. I don't think it's going to be a 2:0x, though, like I thought it could have been.
I don't believe it will.
So, yeah, I'm just going to check that I got all of the collectibles, that this is, in fact, a valid run.
I'm going to give you a preemptive GG.
Thank you.
So I have faith in you. And also it cancels out my own preemptive self-GG.
150 out of 150, 15 out of 15 for the prequels. And the original trilogy is the same. All right, we actually didn't miss anything. We didn't have to re-enter any levels for forgetting collectibles. I'm happy with that.
Hooray!
I'm gonna guess it was like a 2:11 or something.
It was thereabouts,
See?
yeah.
Okay.
Timer is actually still running at the moment, so
Oh, okay.
I'm happy for a pause.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can go ahead and get that pause going. So 3, 2, 1, pause, and then so we're gonna come back here in a minute, and Laser Trap's gonna show us a real jank Lego Star Wars game. One that was described to me as the most jank Lego Star Wars game. So that's pretty exciting. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes to finish up this race. All right, everyone, welcome back. Before we start on this next little bit of our race and finish up the evening, Trojan has a cool Lego set that just blows my mind to show us.
Yep, this is the Lego typewriter. I mentioned it when I was talking about the mechanism for the Nintendo. This has some of the coolest mechanisms I've seen in anything. All of the keys on this do connect to this strike pad. Unfortunately, it only does the single one because there are limitations, which then moves this carriage return across. So you can see with each strike, it's moving slightly to my left. And then, and I forgot there's a way to make it ding, but that's not part of the set. I just haven't added that in. It's an amazing, amazing use of Lego parts, and I thoroughly recommend it to anyone who's even slightly interested in the more technical, mechanical Lego builds, because this shouldn't be possible. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. It should not be possible to create something this cool out of Lego with this mechanical depth. But you can. And with that,
That's wild.
I think we have some speedrunning to do. I did not plan where I was going to put this down.
So let me show you. This is LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy DS. So I know we already played some original trilogy levels, but this is the game that came out before that, and it is not like on PC and console where it's all the same. This is its own build. So let me start from turning on the console. Ignore that it's in Italian. It's in Italian because it's in Italian.
Good.
So here is the beautiful intro. It's got like all kinds of crazy animations, and you think, we're in for a great game here. Also, the first bit of RNG, or luck, excuse me, happened when I put in the cart. It has to be in just the right amount, and I got it first try, so I hope you're all proud of me. And with that, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I am ready to begin, so one last countdown from C.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh crap, what am I doing?
And yeah, first of all, this is the GBA sound font. And I checked in YouTube, it did not find any copyright checks. So I'm hoping that really means we are good to go and it will not have any scary copyright issues for this run, so we can have some music. Isn't that nice?
You get to hear something other than our glorious, glorious voices.
I know, but you know, in the first series of The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross, even he had music in the background.
I can understand why they would have made that mistake, because they
Yes.
didn't know what an amazing talent he was.
Right.
But I'm very glad that they corrected that.
All right. So, in this game, I mean, it actually tells you some things that isn't always intuitive that other games don't. But yes. First thing that's happening is the camera is rotating in its own manner, however it wants to. There is a lot of camera to wrestle in this game, and that will be a theme the whole run long. It's going to follow me, you know, kind of, pretty well around that corner. But for context, this is like the most well-made level. There are some not so great aspects of game design here, but this is the most well-made level in the whole game. So we're not seeing the worst of it yet. But there is an extra you can purchase in this game, not from a red brick, because there are no red bricks, sadly, but you can purchase an extra that you can reset the camera with, because the devs knew the camera was just that good that it might need resetting from time to time.
So you're saying that it is a in-game purchase to fix the controls?
Yes, I am saying it is an in-game purchase to fix the controls.
That is some Sonic and the Secret Rings nonsense. Did anyone ever play that on the Wii? Don't. It's bad.
Noted, I will do exactly that. There is an extra I will purchase after 4 levels of the game. However, for reasons, I'm not actually able to save the game for the first 4 levels in order to go fast. And like, in some games you can just make safety saves and it's fine, but in this game that kind of breaks a couple tricks. So we're gonna do our best and hope that nothing really bad happens. And, you know, maybe nothing really bad will happen. This game tried to be bold and not limit you to having only 2 characters out in your party at a time. So whenever you have 4 characters in your party, which I believe is the maximum that happens in this game, all of them are following you. So yeah, next thing, sometimes this game moves slowly. And yeah, we're going to be dealing with that. Oh, I immediately swapped to C-3PO and now he's hopping on one leg, so he's moving slowly, and that's not just due to delicious lag.
DS games and lag. Is there not a more common combination?
Well, it's this one in particular. I died, and that's actually probably for the best, because now I can move a little bit faster as long as I keep my legs.
Keeping your legs is important. I will acknowledge that.
So I'm running all levels on version 1.0, and in fact, because I own the European cart and only 1.0 came out, as we enjoy this like in-level cutscene kind of thing, decipher it all you wish. 1.0 can only do all levels as a speedrun. It cannot do any percent because the any percent trick doesn't exist. You can never enter the final level from the cantina. You can only hit it from continuing story. You cannot do free play because there is a free play level. Again, the same level, you cannot enter from the cantina, so it is basically not able to be accessed in free play mode either. And 100%, well, you would kind of need to do that level in free play, so you can't do 100% either. You can only do all levels. And on top of that, all levels on 1.0 is slower than it is in 1.1 because there's more lag. There are fewer cutscenes, but it is less broken, believe it or not. Also, 1.1 was not released in Europe.
That part I wholeheartedly believe, as someone who has had to deal with regional gaming quite a lot as an Australian. It used to be easier for me to buy games from Hong Kong at a certain point, and I believe that's how I got most of my Trauma Center copies.
Please break. Okay.
So, hold on. So, if only 1.0 is available in the UK, does that mean it's literally impossible to even casually, 100% the game in the UK?
Oh, yeah.
That's powerful.
That's impressive, and that would probably mean the Australian one matches as well, because for some reason, a lot of games companies treat Australia as an extension of Europe. So we all have stuff that is made in Japan, shipped to Europe, and then shipped to Australia, so we get a delay on top of the European delay. It's just bad.
So, there I did something. I know MageCar knows a couple things about that, maybe. He doesn't run this game, he doesn't run TCS either, but he doesn't have any experience with this game, but do you know how that one works?
So I've played this game for about an hour in the past week, so I'm basically an expert. So
you've got maybe.
So what I understand of that is when you activate the host wireless, the room basically resets, and a lot of so the state of your player also resets, and so for some reason that puts you into a state where you're able to double jump again, even though previously they double jumped and then did their double jump attack, so they shouldn't be able to do anything other than just fall to the ground.
And also, as you're seeing here, you can do that a couple times to clip through doors. It's not as fast as Yoda, but 3 pauses there is the fastest you can clip through that door with the wireless host abuse. So we're basically, I guess we are wanting to play with friends, or we're telling the game we want to play with friends, but there are no friends around, so then we're saying, okay, I don't want to play with friends anymore. And the game gets a bit upset that we don't have any friends, so it's like, here, I'm going to give you an extra jump.
Yeah, so from what I understand, in TCS, if you run off a ledge and then So if you run off a ledge, you enter a free fall state in which you're able to do like basically nothing, other than like move. You can't like jump out of free fall state or anything like that. But in this game, if you like run off a ledge, you're able to double jump. So I'm guessing like it puts you in the wrong falling state. It should put you in one where you're not able to jump. But
that is a logical explanation for an illogical game.
So what you're saying is it's 50-50 to be right? It either is or it isn't?
Exactly.
Because that seems to be the level of logic that we are working with for DS games in general.
Yes, agreed. Aren't DS games wonderful? I do love
they
the DS
so
games.
I do.
I went for something a bit risky,
perfect.
and it did not pay off. This one is kind of a 50-50. You either get hit with a helmet because they want to focus on you, or you don't because they don't want to focus on you.
See?
You need to keep the helmet.
Like, it's really hard to dispute basic maths, which that clearly is. Yeah, the DS is one of my favorite systems just in the history of gaming because it is this perfect combination of all of these janky, weird ideas that, you know, some studios really ran with and others just ignored, but the ones that went for it just... they tried some things. Like, as someone who runs the Trauma Center games primarily, it is impressive the nonsense that that happens across the board there. I appear to be missing a piece.
All right. So I'm just running through relatively empty rooms at the moment. You know, it's kind of nice, but here we see the camera just going in spirals and, you know, sometimes working against us. Because the camera is constantly moving, that means I'm constantly changing the directions I'm pressing, but actually going in the same direction. And now I will go and rescue the princess, and when I do that, there will be a really funny cutscene. The cutscenes are another thing that are made really well. So here's Leia. They're going to stare at each other for a bit while looking side to side. She'll move towards Han and slap him, and then they'll just... yeah, she pulls out her gun, and then they just look at each other for a bit more. Han looks slightly ginger in this game, as you do.
Of course.
And yes, that was the rescuing of the princess.
One of my favorite
now we must
Lego
escape
games.
the Death Star.
Yes. One of my favorite Lego game cutscenes is the one where Luke loses his hand.
And the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they have some amazing like slapstick, like Buster Keaton-esque jokes in some of these. And you never see it coming the first time.
Well, in Harry Potter years 5 to 7, Snape takes the last cookie, and Voldemort really wanted it, so that's why Snape dies.
You know what? That's as good a reason as
pretty
any.
good. Yeah.
All right, we saved
I
our
forget,
friends
did we-
from the trash compactor. Oh,
Did we get
what is
any
happening?
droids on a toilet today?
Oh no, we don't have any droids on a toilet in these games. There are
that's a
2
classic.
in Lego Star Wars 3 though. All right, here's another
Should I just
where
point
I'm
out-
going to turn on the wireless, and then I will let Trojan talk. That just skips the event cutscene.
So yeah, as an Australian, just want to point out, we often call the toilet the dunny. Droids on the dunny. I feel like that's an appropriate rename. You really missed a trick there.
Yes.
Although, if you've ever watched Bluey, you'll know that it's not polite to say dunny. And there was a whole episode of Bluey about saying the word dunny, which led to the game of Squish Squash, which is one of my daughter's favourite games ever. Which is literally just dad squashing daughter, saying Squish Squash. Highly recommend.
So
It was great.
I did another wireless host clip, and it's the last one I'm going to do with that in particular. And I've got all of them the fastest I could. But now this is Vader. He's going to choke me, but that's okay. I'm going to turn on wireless host and then abort the save again. So what that will do is actually delete Vader's health. You saw he had a lot of hearts. He's got me stun locked here. But because I deleted his health like that, he actually is reduced down to only 4 hearts now. It's not going super well. Okay, there we go. He's dead.
There's a joke about daddies and choking there that I don't want to commit to if I want to be back on GDQ ever. But it's so there.
Okay, how many studs do I have?
Again, just like right there.
I need 100 more. Okay, I did not mean to do what I just did. I accidentally saved over my file too early, so the shop warp might not work as it should, but it also might, so we'll see. I need... Okay. An interesting property of this game is that you can go into a level and exit, and it saves the number of studs you had from that level. So now I have 25,000 studs.
Doing well for yourself?
Don't tell me about the Force. Go into the extras menu, and I will buy rainy day mode. And yeah, it's not going to give me the save prompt, so the shop warp didn't quite work. If I hadn't saved a little bit too early, I would have been able to save from the shop and then immediately warp back into this level again. Saves a few seconds.
I really like the part where you got the red brick that lets you buy rainy day mode from the shop.
Don't remind me. I didn't actually get a red brick. It's just an extra that's available. So yes, I bought rainy day mode. What do you think that does? Trojan, you take a guess.
I think it plays a short segment of Alanis Morissette's Ironic, which due to the chipset of the Nintendo DS causes things to crash. Because it's a bit too ironic, don't you think?
And there's a wedding day coming up too. Okay,
there it is, yes.
Now I'm going to turn on rainy day mode, and there will be this rain filter. And what that does is, again, there's like a Vader's TIE Fighter thing there. And that, again, deleted his health. So rainy day mode is like a faster way of toggling the wireless host thing, because it has the same effects. But now I get this lovely rain filter, and it's going to be there until I turn it off. Which, in the name of speed, isn't going to be until the next time I would need it for a trick. And that just happens to be in 4 levels time, so I hope you like this filter.
Meanwhile, I have just constructed a bunch of AV ports to go onto the Nintendo. We have whatever the white one is. What are the yellow, red, and white ports? It's been a long time, and as an old man, my memory is fading. I know yellow is video, red is audio, but what's the white one? Is that the second part of the video? If you're doing the opposite, or is that the one to have stereo audio?
Red and white are left and right audio.
Because this one labels yellow as video. I'll see if I can get that framed properly.
Yep. Yeah. I believe white is left, red is right, and yellow is video.
Awesome.
Delicious lag. In the cave. Oh, camera doing camera things.
Cameras are wont to do that.
One thing I will say is that this game, they did not shy away from trying to make 3D ship levels. Which, the complete Saga just has top-down things, but this is 3D. I hesitate to say functional.
Nominally
It's like
functional.
I'm just drifting ways that I don't want to at all. So another fun thing about 1.0, by the way, is that it doesn't always tell you the objectives. So the objective in this room is to tow down 4 of these big walkers, but I can't see that. I just happen to know by now what I'm supposed to do.
What, have you played this game before? That feels like cheating.
Okay, I lost my tow. Yeah, I did play it a little bit.
Okay, I'll forgive you this time.
Why? Okay, I'm going around in circles, but the circles are not being made. So I'm going around these walkers a few times, and it should have towed them down more than it did.
By which you mean any amount?
Yes, I do actually mean any amount. And any amount was not what I was given.
Okay, that seems rude. I would write to the manager. I mean, I wouldn't, but it's an option.
All right, here we go. We're done with Hoth. Oh, one more thing. You may notice like a ship sound effect in the background. That's not just because I was playing a ship level, because now I'm done with the level, you can still hear it. And that all comes from turning on rainy day mode in the beginning. The first time I did the rainy day mode glitch. That's when it comes from. I was flying a ship at the time and I wanted to quickly deal with Vader's TIE fighter. And so yeah, that sound is going to be with us for the rest of the run.
Cool and normal?
Yeah.
I love this video game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. I did submit this to AGDQ. I thought, why not try my luck? And in the description, I said I would never, ever endorse a Lego game in the awful block, but this one almost deserves it.
Look, you're putting up a strong argument, is all I'll say.
Yes.
But I don't think nothing will ever beat hype mode from Bionic Commando, PJ in...
Oh my
GDQ.
god, that is one of my favorite GDQ memories, for sure.
That may be one of my all-time favorite runs.
I remember that.
Was it 2017? 18?
He did it a couple times. The first time was 2015, actually, but he did it again in 18. I was
The
there
first
in the
one was the
audience
best
for
one.
that run.
I am
That was
quite
amazing.
jealous. Yes. PJ
we have
is... No, go.
We have a question in chat about what is the rain filter actually supposed to do? And I assume it's just a filter.
It's just supposed to be a visual.
Cool.
And also we see some assumptions that like the rain is causing some things to disappear. That happens without the rain. This game will just make things disappear and not let you aim. Aiming a bit like a stormtrooper right now.
It's fine. The DS has some real limitations on its memory, which definitely doesn't get exploited in other speed games in any way, shape, or form to do things like stop things spawning, ever. I may use that trick very heavily in some of the Trauma Center games. Why am I doing that? I need to do that. Why didn't anyone stop me from making that mistake?
Oh, I shouldn't have swapped away from 3PO. I need him. That's okay. There's going to be a cutscene at the bottom of the slide, and I can swap to him again then. So, Mage,
I just realized something very important.
how do you feel about this game so far?
I think this is the greatest game of all time.
Would you glitch hunt in this one next?
Sorry, I actually need a 2-minute pause, please.
Oh, okay.
All right, we can pause for 2 minutes.
3, 2, 1, pause.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just going to mute my microphone while I do this. I forgot to change the battery on my camera.
Oh no.
Are we going to a break, or should we just pause here and hang out for a bit?
Well, we can just let's just go to a quick break. That way Trojan doesn't have to rush. So be right back, everyone. There'll be a short little break just to get the camera set up. All right, everyone, we're back. We're not gonna go through a bunch of formalities here. I'm just gonna throw it back over to our runners so we can keep going. So whenever you two are ready, Laser Trap, you can go ahead and count us down because you're the one that's got to resume.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty. Yeah, sorry about that before, just now. To do this entire streaming setup, I've got 2 webcams plus an actual DSLR. No, wait, it's a Micro Four Thirds, so it's a mirrorless camera. I don't know what the difference is, but apparently that matters to some people, so I'm going to try and say the correct terms. The problem is that the way the battery works, I can't do power cable, anything like that. I actually just have to hot swap batteries every 2.5 hours. Meant to do it on the last break. Didn't. Strongly regretting that mistake, and realized when I had about 90 seconds of battery left. So we fixed that, and now nobody noticed any problems whatsoever. That was a perfectly smooth transition. Did not happen. We cool? We cool.
Nope. Yes, we are cool, but nope, it didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
Attaboy.
Something that has never happened before.
Oh
I
no.
said the thing.
I've done that one a lot. Unfortunately.
Okay, did you just build something and then it unbuild immediately?
Yes,
Or
that's
did you
because
not
I got
finish it?
shot, and yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So in most Lego games, if you get shot in the middle of building, it just stops you there. But in this one, it just dismantles the whole thing. And Vader is really upset that we got away right there.
I'm just building something backwards, so I'm going to do it the correct orientation.
I've been talking a lot during this game. However, Asteroid Fields, it's got added rain, but there is not a lot to happen except that in the second room, things will fall on my head, and there is nothing I can really do about it. Meanwhile, I've been, kind of taking over a bit more in this latter part of the show, so I would like to give you all a chance to catch up with Trojan during this level.
Hey, kids. Look, we're kind of just at the bit where I am mentally and physically flagging a bit, which is why mistakes like not changing the camera battery, which I meant to set an alarm for, will happen. But the build itself is progressing like at a very good pace. I think I'm. What's the estimate left for you, Laser?
Hard to say. Where would I usually be at this run? I think this is like 22 or something minutes in currently, so I would say no more than 30 minutes.
Okay, I'm less than 30 minutes from the end if I haven't made some catastrophic problem.
I am hopefully less than 30 minutes from the end. Do we have ourselves a race?
We might have a race, is the point that I was trying to get to. I think I'm slightly in front, but that's because I hedged my bet incredibly when I was giving my estimate. Because like the range of problems that I can cause myself, and I am well prone to doing it, to the fact where I should have just changed my middle name to Hubris, is pretty significant. But it looks like I've avoided most of the major pitfalls, or I've pretended that they haven't happened. Both are acceptable. But in general, I've just like absolutely enjoyed this time. It has been an absolute pleasure doing the stream with you, Laser.
Yeah, this has been really awesome. I mentioned earlier, I didn't know how this would go because we didn't really talk or plan anything, but I don't think we had to. This has been really amazing.
It's just kind of worked, which, aside from all of the technical problems that I've caused, because I do that. We have to have that. Without it, what's the point of doing a GDQ stream, right?
Right. Also, here's the famous scene where they find a place to hide, but there's a monster, and then they're just going to fly into it, and then the monster will spit it out, I guess. And eventually, as the level fades out, oh yeah, the Falcon's just flying back into the hole slowly.
That makes sense. No, that seemed out of the ordinary.
Alright, so there are 16 levels in this run, 5 per episode except a secret bonus level at the end. And I have completed 8 now. 5-4. So this is one of the reasons, other than lag, why 1.1 is faster. On 1.1, this is about 1 minute and 8 seconds of the intro and outro cutscene, and 0.2 seconds of gameplay. Because
That's...
Yeah. So
I'm not great at maths, but that's a bad ratio.
they somehow managed to patch in an end level trigger right at the beginning.
Huh. I'm sure they meant to do that.
That is not the case in 1.0. So we're actually going to see the level here, whether you
It's so
like it or
sad.
not.
It's so sad that they cut the only Yoda level in the original trilogy so they could
Yeah,
have
right,
a 0.2
there's-
second long level.
There's no Yoda level in this game.
Well, that's just a crime.
I've never played as Yoda in this game because playing casually, I just played the story and I was like, that's it, I'm out.
From what you've said about the content in the game, I don't blame you. That is quite impressive how dirty they did the Europeans, considering that they like to do the Europeans dirty. Got another spare piece.
Don't they all?
I could complain about it all day, honestly. Even though I'm only an Australian.
Well, fortunately for me, it's night by now. I've only got 2 hours left in my day.
Whereas it's midday for me, so after this, my toddler is coming home. She's actually having a bit of a play date. And from there, who knows what will happen. Nothing restful, that's for sure. I'm just going to call that bit done.
I am gone. I was invisible for an amount of time. That's cool. And I'm invisible again. All right. That is not stuff I intended to happen. It just kind of happens. And as I go into this room, there's a backdrop, I guess. Oh, now it appears. All right. Good stuff.
Without being able to see what's happening to you, your descriptions are intriguing.
Yeah, don't you want to try this run out to give yourself a break from Trauma Center?
You know what? I will do you a deal. If you attempt a run of either Trauma Center game on the DS, I will do the return and do any percent of that game.
Oh, baby. All right. I don't own Trauma Center, and I've never played a single Trauma Center game, but it does intrigue me. The lore behind it is something else.
Madness.
And also...
Pure madness.
From chilling out and watching previous runs at GDQ, everyone talks about how difficult it is and how difficult they are, and I'm kind of like, what makes it so difficult? So I am intrigued.
Well, the short version is that first of all, it's made by Atlas, most famous for the Persona games at the moment, but before Persona, they made the Shin Megami Tensei games, which are a particular level of difficulty. And they took that ethos across when they were doing their more experimental games like Catherine and Trauma Center and Etrian Odyssey and all of them.
As you do.
So, yes. So it's a poorly balanced tech demo of what the DS is capable of for the first one, and then every game extends from that. But you're also doing very fine movements.
Oh, where am I? I'm sorry, where am I? Where did it put me? Okay, I think I know where I am. Okay, I know where it put me.
That's a good start.
But I do not know how to look at what I am doing. Okay,
I
am
cannot
over here
help you.
now. Yeah, so the camera was locked on me, but I was behind like a wall, and it couldn't see behind the wall because walls have they have a solid visual, and I was behind the solid visual, and that's why I couldn't see what I was doing when I was behind the wall. So I'm attempting to do kind of a big sequence break here, and it's not going well.
That's not ideal. I'm sure you can pull it off.
Yeah, eventually. And I did it. So now I'm on the roof. That was the goal. There is actually like a genuine bit of randomness in this level with a code that you're meant to use. Also, the camera's just going to stay zoomed out here. And I have to find my way in. I like how I'm leaning forward as if that'll help.
Well, you don't know if you don't try.
But yes, there's like a random code that you have to use, and you have to check every time to see what it is. Alternatively, you can go on the roof like that and skip it. You may also be wondering, if you deleted Vader's health earlier, why can't you do it now? And the answer is, I don't know, it just doesn't work.
Video games. Because video games, unfortunately... I'm almost at the bit where...
I'm having a lot of fun showing this game off on GDQ's channel.
I gotta say, you picked it. You had an amazing choice of game for this show. I really look forward to going back and watching just your gameplay and seeing if there's a way to not cringe at my own voice, because
And by the way,
is a difficult thing.
You mentioned this cutscene with Luke's hand getting cut off. People who were watching closely might have seen he got his hand cut off and then he regrew it and then he got his hand cut off again. And then he just casually crawled off the side and Vader was really upset again. Anyway, episode 6.
Yeah, the Xbox version of that one might be slightly different, but it is one of my favorite Lego moments.
Yeah, no, it is a very, very good one. So I'm going to plug something I've been training for, and it's called Grunt Percent. So the PC runners have this crazy 10-game relay where they do all of the Lego games from before they talked in the cutscenes. So, you know, they're grunting in the cutscenes. That's why it's called Grunt Percent. And one of the series mods, Chimkin, last time out, did that in under 20 hours. So my idea is, why not do that with all the DS games? But there's no Lego Star Wars 1 on the DS. It's only on GBA. So I'm doing that with the GBA one as well. And there's Lego Star Wars 2 on the GBA as well. But wait, I'm playing Lego Star Wars 2 right now. So there's going to be 11 games, but they're all shorter for the most part. So I'm hoping I can do it in under 15, and that's what I've been training for. By now I have
I need you to
learned
promise
11.
me. I need you to promise me that you will at me when you go live with that. I need to watch this.
Okay. I think we should definitely stay in contact and see whatever crazy ideas we could come up with, honestly. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we can come up with some nonsense.
I need Luke. Okay, I've got Luke. I almost forgot Luke.
Alrighty. Oh, sorry, I gotta check the framing. Something that's, like, it's a weird production thing, but just, I've been changing how I sit in my chair multiple times over this, purely to, like, not blow my back out. But in one of the positions I sit further back, which means that I'm more prone to having the build further back, and you'll just notice kind of slowly creeping off the edge of frame. I'm just trying to correct that.
Guys, don't stand on the obvious trapdoor.
No, do it.
See? Okay, this is where we start to see why the glitches aren't the hard part of running this game. It's what you're supposed to do that is the hard part of running this game. Yeah, that's like the case for a lot of episode 6, including this Rancor fight. So I'm gonna really hope that I don't get grabbed during this and I can stand in a place where I can keep using the Force over and over. And it looks like I've got a really good spot. Dude, this could actually be on PB pace, if not for that break. So I hope you're happy. Oh, no, it's not good anymore. I lied. It's not on PB pace.
Just pretend. No one will know. Oh, no. We have a trusting audience who doesn't know what your PB is, aside from all of your friends in the audience.
It is really hard to string a good run together in this game.
It does sound like a complete nightmare.
That was a really, really good Rancor fight. Like, everything considered, it can get so out of control. Here I'll be using rain a couple more times, as you do. This time to chain a couple of extra jumps together, not just one, but I'm going to cross a gap, and it might not go well, but it also might. So let's just see.
Okay, so astute viewers may notice that I'm building a cover that's going to go over a section that's otherwise hollow. You may have also noticed in the instructions that I skipped past a section that would happen to fill this bit. When I mentioned earlier that I dislike how LEGO will often put finish the build on a low note, I decided that I would finish on a high note, and I've deliberately put aside my two favorite sections of this entire build as the finish. Because I can.
And speaking of because I can, I guess C-3PO and R2 are cloned now? I don't know. They did a huge sequence break that I don't really understand why it works. Also, that Gamorrean guard is totally helping me beat up Baba, so that's nice.
I have a minor question about that. How do you clone a inorganic being?
I didn't do it on purpose.
That doesn't answer the question.
Nope, I know. But that's actually because I really don't know. It just happened.
That does answer the question.
Okay.
It doesn't, but it successfully doesn't answer the question.
Okay, there we go. I am glad I could satisfy the conditions.
Oh, the absolute.
All right, now it's
madness
raining
going
in
on.
Endor. I guess the last time I tried to use the rain, I had to use it an odd number of times to turn it back on.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
That's what IT suggested, but I don't trust IT.
That's fair. Is Mage still hanging around? Because Mage is technically your IT support as the Tazza.
True. Magecar, how do you feel about this?
It is raining. It is very true. Yeah. This game is very interesting. I honestly really liked all the like rainy day mode and multiplayer disconnected glitches.
Oh, I just got killed by tiny stormtroopers on the ground that I didn't know existed.
Chat, I don't want Laser to know what I'm holding right now, but I think you need to absolutely spam this just for the next bit.
I know what
I think you can all see what I'm holding. So please, chat, you know what has to be said because it is thoroughly missing from this section of the show. Please, I need to see it. Spam some red brick. I've got 4 in my hands. Let's go. Red bricks.
4 red bricks? You're greedy. You stole them all from this game.
I did. That's why there's none in that game, and they're all in my Nintendo.
Yo, here it goes. Shoutouts, I guess. I did not shout her out before, but there's my girlfriend in the chat. Yes, I have one of those. She started the whole red brick thing when I was running Lego Star Wars 3 all red bricks, and it became a good meme in the chat last time.
It's just a good meme in general. I thoroughly endorse it, and I like what's going on there. Then again, I seem to have really solidified my my memeing reputation with this.
You've done a pretty darn good job, I have to say.
Not even intentional, I just kind of fall into it. It must be my personality.
All right. Nothing but dread when it comes to this level, by the way.
Oh, that bodes well.
By far the longest level in the run, and I don't think I've ever yelled at a Lego game. Like, you cannot imagine me yelling, but I don't think I've ever yelled at a Lego game like I have at the platforming in this level.
I need you to fully and utterly embrace that through the next section. I need to know what you yelling sounds like, because that is genuinely something that I am struggling to imagine.
I mean, it wasn't like my actual yelling. It was just more like, why? But, you know, it was there.
Look,
you know, letting my voice
I feel like
break
you
a bit
slightly
so it's
misled me.
high-pitched.
And I think you need to correct that by fully yelling during this section, even if it's for no reason. I don't care if it's just you're doing the Bionic Commando hype mode.
That would be an appropriate yell. All right, so yeah, the platforming in this stage, this isn't the worst part, but we've got these really thin logs that are also moving all the time, and perspective is key, and I died right as I tried to end the logs, so I have to start from the beginning again because they're moving, and therefore, yeah, okay, the strict voice is coming out now.
That is rude. That seems incredibly rude. I would send that to its room, except I can tell you.
I would send that to the principal's office.
Also that. Perfectly acceptable choice. I am actually rapidly nearing the end of the main section of this build, less the Easter egg controller and cartridge. Just where are we?
Oh, this level,
cool.
I completely did it wrong. Take me back. Okay, this I did not mean to
Paradise
demo
City?
this, but this level has pick a path. Yes, it legitimately has pick a path in it. No, okay, I got confuzzled because I did one thing wrong, and now the camera has to catch up. Oh, that puts you back to the beginning. I didn't know that. Okay, now I get a chance to do it right at least. I did not mean to
believe
demo
there's
that
a
this is
phrase
pick
for
a
what
path.
just happened to you then. Do you want to say the magic phrase?
No.
Okay. I was giving you the opportunity.
See what I mean about this level filling us with dread? There is a quick way out, and it's giving that way. It's pretty straightforward. Anyway,
Anyway, I was promised yelling.
I really don't like yelling because it is loud, and I'm a little bit too close to my microphone, and I don't want to do that to people. Also, it's late, and I'm not sure if other people in my house have gone to bed.
I will
I'm yelling on
accept
the
you being a
inside.
responsible person. Do your inside voice yelling.
Here, like, as somebody that is terrible at platforming in Lego games because perspective is weird and hard, this
Oh god, it is.
this level is filling me with dread, and I'm not even playing it.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember, but like earlier I mentioned that I played a lot.
I don't know if you heard that. I was just yelled at.
I didn't, but I believe it. What have we devolved into at
They
this
said we're
point?
still
Like,
up.
see, like they're giving you good feedback. They're clearly watching the stream in the other room,
Yes.
and
yes,
now you
they
know
were.
what the lag is.
Uh-huh.
Also, hi people in the other room. Yell red brick, please.
Yell red brick, please. I will if you do.
No. Your housemates.
These are my grandparents, actually. I live with them. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. So your grandparents then, could they please yell red brick?
All right. You know, this is the part I yelled at going across these platforms here. Did you
I
hear
heard that. Thank you.
one? I'm crying.
I don't know why I yelled back.
Hold on. Oh no, I can't cross these lines. This is a problem.
Oh, that
They
broke me
expect
a
me
little.
to do this casually.
We've devolved into madness.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna put down my DS. Turn to the side.
Red brick.
All right. There we go.
Hey.
Right now, I have to focus on crossing these lines. I can't do it. I can't focus.
We might go overestimate now. Oh god. Oh, so if anyone ever has any questions about this being live, we can just play this. Oh, okay.
I actually can't make the first jump. The first jump is the hardest one, but then you have to keep going, and that fills me with dread. I yelled
is
because
bad.
I couldn't get past the first one a few times, and then I missed the last one. When I did this, I didn't really yell, though. Please don't miss the last one. I made it. Okay, we're safe. Okay, that is the worst part of the entire game. Done. Now I'm gonna make it over a barrier by switching off the rain. There we go. All right, there's no rain.
What are we doing with our lives, really?
Shout out to Laser Trap's grandparents for really just putting us over the edge.
They
That's
might
great.
yell back at you, but yes, shout outs to them.
Do please tell me they have a Twitch account that someone can donate a sub to. I will do the donation myself if I have to.
You know what? There might be a Twitch account. Maybe he'll appear in the chat in a second.
Please identify yourselves in chat and we will gift you a sub. Please. It is September. They are discounted. But I would have done it anyway.
Yeah, not even I have a sub, and you're gonna gift my wonderful grandpa a sub. I see how it is. He deserves it, though. He deserves it more than I do. Now I'm playing, I guess, whack-a-mole with these buttons. The level's still not done yet. It started, like, I don't know, probably 10 minutes ago at this point with the interruptions we had.
Interruptions is generous. I'm building off camera again, aren't I? Someone needs to call me out on that.
Also, I'm like 5 minutes away from the end now.
I'm slightly behind that, actually.
Oh.
If I don't build
a
the
race.
we do. If I don't build the controller and the cartridge, I think I'd finish at about the same time. But I think I should build the controller and the cartridge.
Yes, there's a lot. There we go. Bob St. James. It looks like he's already subbed, though. Darn.
Bob's and James.
Nobody can
is
give him a
that
sub.
That is true. You know what? I will just do a straight up gift bomb when my hands are next free.
Yo. Oh, I just earned a subscription badge. Who gifted me a sub? Hello? Oh, thank you very much. I don't know how to say that name. Is
Xeno Veritas?
We'll say that.
No. Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to fly towards the Death Star right now. And
Very to scale.
yeah, very to scale. I'm going to be inside this thing in a second, and like it'll be basically like the TARDIS. Yeah. That happened.
I'm sure it did.
I'm invisible at
break.
the second when I go through there. There's also like a weird wall I have to go around.
My phone's buzzing in my pocket, and I'm doing a slightly delicate bit of Lego. So I can't turn it off. Here we go.
And one thing... Oh! Everything's disappearing. Okay. One thing I do not understand in this level is these electric barriers. Sometimes you can...
What have I done wrong?
Like, just go through them if you shoot them enough. Other times, it says no. And yes, this is another very laggy section. Slightly less laggy on 1.1. Another advantage of playing on 1.1. Had to show off glorious 1.0 for you, though.
I broke a bit. It fell into the main mechanism. I unbroke it by just flipping the Nintendo upside down. Problem solving! Alright.
So this is a very thrilling end to the run. There is one more level after this, but we will see what happens with that very shortly when I deal with this. Because I'm gonna say be ready on time before we even enter that level.
Then you are definitely winning this.
Is a grand finale. I'm still a couple minutes away.
Oh, I am more than that. I made some mistakes.
All right, we
Along just,
started blowing up the
doing
Death
this.
Star. Fire! Fire! There's super
Of course.
realistic fire everywhere. Ah!
This is so much more intense than the TCS auto scroller.
That's true. TCS just has an auto scroll. I meant to go to the other side so I can get around that barrier. There we go. I know what I'm doing. Slightly go into the wall there. I mean, this is not an auto scroller. I could still lose time here. Ah, I didn't get through that electric barrier. See, sometimes it just doesn't go away.
Oh boy.
Oh, camera changed, so I went right into that fire, even though I didn't change direction. Love it.
I'm actually like working up a sweat. Admittedly, part of this is like a bit of a heat trap here. I'm very warm.
All right, okay, so get ready on time. Yeah. The Death Star blows up. Cool. That's Star Wars in a nutshell. All right, this is the Emperor fight. And once again, we can turn on the rain. The health is deleted. He ran away. He doesn't do that. No, stop running away. You're not supposed to do that.
Get back
Alright,
here,
he's
you
dead.
jerk.
And
Actually, no, wait, keep running away. Oh. GG, well done. Congrats on...
fight. Thank you. Just a quick explanation though, that fight should go on for longer. But if you delete the health at the beginning, the other phases don't happen. Apparently that soft locks if you do that in free play, so don't do that in free play. Yeah.
GG. Now you know you can do collectible rush and all levels in 305.25.
305.
Oh, I might actually make an underestimate this time. What disconnected? Okay. Damn it. Hold on. I may be able to fix this without getting up.
This was a blast.
And now you'll get to watch some Lego building.
Oh, that's true.
Indeed.
Hopefully my stream doesn't just tank from that, but it's true. I can quickly see what's going on the...
I'm reconnecting my camera because it decided to disconnect.
Yay, cameras.
Someone's saying I don't remember this game looking so pixely. I mean, the screen is blown up in size a bit now. But also there is rain on the screen that isn't usually there. That's, just casual rain. A fun fact, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they had the ability to control the weather.
I'm back.
Things we have since lost.
We live. Cool.
All right, let's check out what's happening on the Games Done Quick Twitch channel.
Okay, and what was I doing? I've now forgotten what I was doing in terms of build, so that's even better. That's right.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that was actually like a proper sized NES.
Yeah, it's scale. The cartridge is a little small, but I'm pretty sure that the NES is to scale. This is what you've been up against this whole time. Did I just... No. I thought I heard the USB disconnection sound again, and I was going paranoid because, yeah, the camera disconnecting is a bad thing when this is an entirely camera-based stream. Move it on, move it on, move it on. I've put that in the wrong spot.
Oh, and I also mentioned that there was the ship sound the whole run. You can now hear no music and you can just hear the ship sound. That's still going from the first time I activated rainy day mode and messed things
Oh,
up.
that's very good.
As someone who can't currently hear your game audio, I think I'm going to need a verbal approximation, please.
All right, hold on. I'll pause the game so it's no longer happening. Are you ready for this?
No, but I'm never going to be.
It's not actually that obnoxious. I've
Okay.
learned to tune it out by now, but I hope it comes through in Discord. I mean, it's just my voice, it should.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Have you ever seen The Emperor's New Groove?
Yes. Yes, I have.
It's kind of like when Kronk is singing his own theme song to himself. And then
And he's holding that long note.
a couple people pass him and he's like,
Oh, that is
pretty
an
much.
excellent, excellent description. I appreciate it. Also, how willing you've been to take part in my many, many memories. And the reason those were misaligned is because I didn't have a piece in there that was to help align it. That would explain that.
Estimate's looking close on this one. You gotta go quickly. Gotta go quickly.
Going quickly does seem to be the point of the channel. But I did go well overestimate on my Under the Knife run. So, either way, I'd either be consistent or just good. So this is the front flap of the console. I don't know why it's held together in this way at this point, but it is. It's kind of just slapping a thing on top of a thing and then holding it together mostly via tension. And then we use some panels over the front of it to do that. Why is that not sliding in? What have I missed? Is that in the correct spot?
I'm looking at the text messages I received from my girlfriend during this time, and apparently there was a line I stopped myself from saying about her, and I don't remember what it was.
I'm sure you're not in trouble. See, this is the thing. Now that I'm at the end, I'm a little bit shaky, just fatigue. Because, let me tell you, building Lego for 3 hours is not that easy. It's a surprisingly difficult task. That goes on there. These, where have they gone? There's meant to be... Please?
When you would normally build a kit of like this size and like nature, how many days would you likely spread it out over?
The first time I built this was spread over just over a week. It was 8 days, I think.
Yeah.
Which is slightly longer than this.
Slightly longer. I mean, this is definitely a PB.
Yeah, I think I can confidently claim that. And also a world record. And also, I'm looking for these, because we're going to do one of my favorite parts of the run. The Easter egg! Which, when I first encountered it, I actually thought it was like some sort of mechanical tube thing going on. But it is, in fact, a deliberate Easter egg that has been built into it. And chat, if you identify this, anyone who's already built the kit themselves, don't spoil it. If you recognize this, chat, tell people exactly what it is.
I'm quite a fair bit behind, but let's see.
Lots of blue.
Yeah.
There is a lot of blue.
Also, I had a thought. Is this the first time we'll have a PB on GDQ that went over estimate?
Oh, shots. Oh, I'll eat that. That's... Wow.
That's pretty good.
That might have never happened before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I will take that. Maybe I can... No, I'm not going to finish that.
Nobody can ever take that away from you.
Yeah, you can't take away first unless you are Billy what's-his-face. Mitchell.
Oh, I see. Billy Mitchell. Yeah.
What is this?
I am
Like,
confusion.
I've like deliberately set this up to be thing.
That says a
like,
pile of bricks.
Yeah.
That is technically correct at the moment.
So far, yes, but it will turn into something as Lego is meant to be. Someone is getting in the right direction, but I will need more specific than...
My guess is it's going to be one of the, one of the water levels? One of the underground levels? One of those?
Yes.
Here. I feel like you mentioned something about like a Mario being able to play in there.
In the TV, Mario plays 1-1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Or
there's
in this case, a bullet bill.
Yes. Because
Oh, yeah, I remember the bullet bill, yeah.
Yes, the bullet bill will be returning very soon. Yep, people in it have got it after that bit. It is the 1-2 warp zone.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes,
That's
and
pretty
like
cool.
legitimately, when I put this together and I was looking at it, I thought it was like some vacuum tubes or something. Like legitimately, I pulled up schematics of the NES to try and work it out. Just be like, what am I looking at here? What is it? And then I like looked down from the pictures that I had looked up, and realized I am just a colossal idiot. And it is in fact 1-2 and an Easter egg, and I was too dumb to recognize it.
Also, I'm like watching myself on the stream as well, and I cannot stop smiling. I honestly had such a good time tonight. This was a really awesome thing.
Good. And like, chat, if you enjoyed seeing this shenanigans, like, let me know. Like, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know if you want to see more of this like video game versus not video game thing. Because like, we can do this. That's the glory of this show.
I've got a feeling you may have a few people in support of it. I'm one of them.
Yeah. Well, Trojan, while you're wrapping up this build, do you have any further shout outs that you wanna throw out there?
Again, I'd just like to shout out Bevois, Blags, Cal and Sammy, my wife, Jessie, and my daughter, Wriggles, both Laser and Mage, for being opposite me. See, this was your idea. You get full blame and responsibility for the success of this. So credit and or sacking, depending on the mood of those up above. Ray has done a fantastic job dealing with the production of the utterly ridiculous setup that we've had to manage with a DS and 3 cameras and face cams and just everything. So well done to them. And most importantly of all, Laser's granddad. What an absolute bloody legend.
That is the MVP of the run right there.
Yep.
I would like to shout out for LSW2, Flaming Laser, who has the record in any percent and all levels. Skiko now is the other moderator for that leaderboard. Actually has done a few things in tasks in that game. Really likes Lego Star Wars 2 for the DS a lot. We don't know why, but we're happy for him.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I echo all of the shout outs for the day we've had that Trojan just made, but I also need to shout out Trojan himself.
Thank you.
For playing along with this build. It's been really awesome. Providing a really good balance to the commentary styles I usually go for, I guess. A balance in the force, if you will.
I think we both know who is light side and dark side in this equation.
Yes.
So it doesn't need to be said. And dot done.
Hey.
GG. That is one good-looking NES and television.
Yes. I am not doing part of the build purely for time considerations, but I built that into my estimate as flex.
There we go. Well, thank you both so much for being here. This was awesome. And I enjoy doing this sort of thing just because this was kind of the idea for when the show kind of came about. It was like, we could do cool things like this. So we've done 2 of them now. We've done some Overcooked versus Baking, and we've done some Lego versus Lego. So I'm sure there will be more shenanigans in the future. But chat, that is all for What's Faster tonight. But don't go anywhere because we have Grudge Match coming up right after this with Author Blues and Brosentia. So, see ya.
Thank you.